If there's anyone watching, if you could put a comment, because I see the comments. Otherwise, we're just recording. Let me get some dew.
Is there anybody out there?
Yeah, so we decided we're going to do a quick try to catch up Robert's Rules live, but we got to kick it off with our theme song, of course, though we won't have the video accompaniment, but we must get in the mood. So I am going to cue that up. And it looks like I'm looking on my control panel like one person is watching. So comment. 3 people comment. Okay, here we go.
Will be free for when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter. Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay.
My screen went black.
Yeah, no, me too. It will go back in a minute here because I wasn't prepared. So let's do this again. Of course I fucked up stuff. Why not? Let me try this. Here we go. That's me. Now I need to add you. There
I
you
stand
are.
by still some technical difficulties.
Yes, and let me add our frames back on. See, I'm still learning this program. And hi, Michael. Hi, James. This is a little bit different for us, but we're doing our speed rounds of Roberts to catch up. All right, Mr. Seebeck, we are on January 8th.
Okay, before we begin, I have to ask you one question.
What?
How many parliamentarians does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know. I know this is going to be bad
None.
though. What?
None. None.
Why?
That motion is out of order.
Now James Just is on the screen here, and can you see the comments too, Mike, or no?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so he says, as a small county chair, I despise RONR. We're going to give you a quick story here. Both Mike and I used to. We got to be careful with the cross talk because it comes out weird. Mike and I both used to. And we both learned it, and now we kind of like it, right?
Well, we put up with it,
We're good at it now. So,
supposedly.
yeah, I encourage you, James. I let me just put something in your ear. I guess you despise it because you don't know it very well. And that's why I despised it, because I'd get beat up by it. But once I learned it and it wasn't hard, I realized it was a good tool. So I'd encourage you maybe to rethink that spite. But if not, go ahead. You can hate it with the hatred of 1,000 burning suns. That's fine. Okay, Mr. Seebeck.
Quick question. What is the status of your exam?
I'm still in part 2. I got to work on it some more. I've been so busy. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna actually do some more tonight. I might actually take part 2 tonight. My problem is I'm old and I haven't read the study material. Like,
Yeah.
uh, uh. Okay, well, here's the question, Mr. Seebeck. And when we
Okay.
go through the answers, we just got to do it a little bit more quickly than possible. Do you have your Holy Writ?
I have my holy writ right here.
And you have the what? The 11th, and I've got the 12th. So here
Love
we
it.
go.
Right.
At a 3-day convention, the motion to postpone indefinitely. Wait, why? What? Hold on. They put weird things here.
Well, so what else is
Resolution.
new?
Okay, I'm going to read it to you as it is, and you're going to go, what are they talking about? At a 3-day convention, the motion to postpone indefinitely Resolution 15 is adopted. I don't know what Resolution 15 is, but whatever it is, it's been postponed indefinitely.
Okay.
This is an indirect rejection of that resolution for A, the entire convention of 3 days, B, the day the motion was adopted, C, the day the motion was adopted and the next day, or D, none of the above.
Oh, wait a minute. It was a what? An indirect rejection?
Yeah,
Is that what it was?
because it really wasn't voted down, it was just postponed indefinitely. So they're
Give me
asked,
the
I'm sorry?
give me the choices again.
It's an indirect rejection of that resolution for A, the entire convention of 3 days, the day the motion was adopted, the day the motion was adopted and the next day, or none of the above.
A.
You are correct. And I believe that is because it's a session and you can't bring it up in the same session. Is that
Right.
what you think? So let's just
Yeah.
look quickly. Reference 127, 29 through 30, and 128, 1 through 7.
127. Yep, postpone indefinitely. Chapter 6, section 11, postpone indefinitely.
And so 29 through 30 on
Um,
page 127
right. And then through the next page to what line?
to line 7. And if you let me know the heading, I should be able to find it.
It's the first paragraph under further rules and explanations, right after the standard descriptive
Yep, got it.
characteristic.
So if you'd like to read that.
Sure. Okay. Effect on the pending motion. The effect of postponing a question indefinitely is to suppress it throughout the current session. In a convention or conference consisting of several meetings, the suppression continues throughout the entire series of meetings, and in ordinary societies throughout the weekly, monthly, or other meeting, as the case may be. Consequently, the adoption of the motion to postpone indefinitely is in effect an indirect rejection of the main motion. There
Okay,
it is.
yep, that was pretty simple. So just for everyone listening, a series of connected meetings is a session. And you cannot bring up something again in the same session that was postponed indefinitely. You can do it at the next session,
Right.
but you can't do it at the same session. All right, and I need to write down because I still need to get our scoreboard. But so I need to write down that you got this one. So this is yay, you won. So put my check mark. Ah, fucker. Okay. All right, I'm ready. Oh, and just I want to explain to people who don't know.
Doing things that'll be embarrassing.
What?
You're worried about me doing things that'll be
Oh,
embarrassing.
I cuss all the time. If you're
I like
wondering,
what they call parliamentarian light bulb jokes.
if you're wondering why we're scrambling between two books, is this is an older calendar, but the questions are still valid. So Mike is using the 11th because that's what the answers are keyed to, and then I'm struggling to find it in the 12th. Oh, and the reference in the 12th for that one for everyone was page 117, and it's 11:3. Chapter 11, verse 3 of the Holy Writ. Okay. I'm ready.
Oh, but I said we had to wait a minute between them.
Oh, yeah, no, but I meant even between us talking, so we're not.
Okay. I misunderstood you. Okay, Wednesday the 9th. Here we go. Before or after an order for the previous question has been partly carried out, its execution may be interrupted by which of the following motions? A, a question of privilege. B, a recess or adjournment. C, lay on the table. D, all the above.
All of the above.
That is correct. The citation is 203, 34 to 35 into 204, 1 through 5.
What's the title of the...
Section 16, chapter 6. Hang on, I got to get to the right page.
Squiggly 16?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a section number.
Yeah, you know me. I get confused.
Okay, where is it here? Okay, it is the main title of the section is further rules and explanation. It is down in the bullets under voting on a series of motions under the previous question, interruption of execution.
I think this is one, we went through this before. This was rewritten. So if you would just read the part, because I remember we did this partially executed order thing. I remember this from the last time, and this was rewritten. So without us sitting next to each other, I'm not going to be able to find it.
Okay, I'll just rattle off. I'm starting up a little higher up at line 20 on 203.
Okay.
If because it's just being in the paragraph before the bullets. If a question or series of questions, including motions on which the previous question has been ordered, ceases to be the pending business before all the motions affected by the order have been voted on, execution of the order is said to be interrupted. This sounds like the rules for Magic the Gathering. Interruption of execution of an order for the previous question may occur as follows. Okay, first bullet I'll skip. Second bullet. Before or after an order for the previous question has been partly carried out, as already noted, it is also possible for its execution to be interrupted as a result of the question being laid on the table or by the intervening of a special order set for a particular hour, a question of privilege, a recess, or an adjournment.
Yep. And I didn't know if lay on the table could, but I knew two of them were right, so that's why I knew it was all of the above. Because a recess can interrupt anything, and a question of privilege can interrupt anything. So that's how I got to the answer. I wasn't sure about the lay on the table. And anyone watching, if you ever have any questions, just go ahead. Again, we're going through our speed rounds here.
So if we recess the recess, are we back in session?
Yes. It's like a double negative. All right, the 10th, Mr. Seebeck.
Hold on 1 second. Got to mark this as you got it right. There we go. Okay, let's go.
All right. Which of the following has precedence or precedence over a question that was postponed to a specified hour as a general order when the scheduled time for its consideration has arrived? A, a question that was already pending at the scheduled time. B, all special orders. C, calling up the motion to reconsider. Or D, both A and B are correct.
Okay, give me those choices one more time.
And I'm looking at the answer and I don't agree with it. Okay. Which of the following has precedence over a question that was postponed to a specified hour as a general order when the scheduled time for its consideration has arrived? A, a question that was already pending at the scheduled time. B, all special orders. C, calling up the motion to reconsider. Or D, both A and B are correct.
I'm going to go with D. Because I think special orders do have right of way, and I think you got to deal with anything pending at that particular point usually. So watch, it'll be C, and I'm right.
No, it actually is A, and now I do agree with it. They tricked you, and I had to think about it for a second because I thought the same thing. Special orders are superior to general orders, but it said all special orders, not a special order for that particular time.
Okay, what's the difference?
A special order can be made for any particular time. A special order can be made for 4 o'clock, for 3 o'clock. You know, there's lots of times to execute Mike Seebeck. So just because just because something was a special order doesn't mean it's a special order for the same time as this general order. And this B said all special orders. It was kind of tricky. So it is a question that was already pending at the scheduled time.
Am I in focus over there?
No. You're very blurry.
It's not just me then.
You weren't before, though.
I'll figure.
Yeah, you were in focus before.
I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if that to help anything or not. This is just a camera on the laptop. I don't know.
Yeah, Gene says you are very out of focus.
Hi, Gene. Hi, Pete. Well, I'm not sure what to do about that, but because you're clear as a bell over here.
Yeah. I am getting you better equipment for at home because that microphone is no good. It's not good. And
Okay.
you don't have headphones on, like I told you.
That's because they're at the office.
Yeah, but I can hear me coming back.
I can hear me. I can hear me on your side too. So
You can't
it actually
because
gives me an idea of the delay going on too, which helps.
that's a delay. You don't hear it because I've got headphones on. It's not playing here anywhere.
And it's not a dirty lens.
Well, you want to know what? Why don't you try um, logging off and coming back on?
Okay. Let me give that a shot.
Okay.
So I'll be right back.
All right. Oh, now I'm in between frames. Hi. Hi. Which so I'll scoot on Mike's side while we're waiting for him to come back. So I hope you all understood that trick question there. So here he is back. Let me add him to the right.
Doesn't help much.
No, we're gonna have to deal with it, but yeah, we're gonna get you some better equipment if we're gonna be doing this stuff at home, like a real webcam. And if you had an Apple iPhone, I could tell you how to do it with that, but you know.
Anyway, where are we? 11?
Oh, we were going to say why that was the right answer. So,
Oh, yeah.
186, 23 through 35, and let me know the squiggle.
Okay, that's section 14.
Okay.
The paragraph title is Priority of Postponed Items and its relation to order of business and orders of the day.
Okay.
And what line number did you say?
It is 23 through 35, and it continues on to the next page.
Okay, that is the first, second, third, fourth paragraph in that section in 11th.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. The effect of postponing a question to a specified hour or until after a particular event in a meeting, making it a general order for that hour, is 1, to ensure that the question cannot come up before the predetermined time except by a 2/3 vote or through a reconsideration of the postponement, and 2, to provide that it will come up at the time named or later depending on certain circumstances. Such an order of the day cannot interrupt pending questions, and except for a 2/3 vote, it cannot come up before general orders have been reached in the order of business, even if the time named has arrived or passed, but it is automatically taken up at the time named or as soon thereafter as general orders have been reached and any of the following matters, all of which have precedence over it, have been disposed of. 1, a question pending at the time named. 2, a special order for a particular hour that comes into conflict. 3, a motion to reconsider that is called up. Or 4, any other general order made before it was made, unless such other general order was set for a time that has not yet arrived.
Yep. And that's how that was a trick question, because it said special order for that time.
Eesh.
Yeah, that was tricky. That was tricky. All right, I'm noting that down. And that's the one they duplicated, number 10, the tricky question.
Well, in that case, I get a second shot at it.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
All right, Mr. Seebeck, I am totally buying you new equipment. But you said you have a face made for radio, so maybe it's better.
Yeah. Okay, Friday, January 11th.
And you can't
Emotion.
cheat. You can't cheat now because I'm not close.
I don't cheat anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
You're the one who has to request the calendars when I'm not around, so how do I know you're not cheating?
I'm too busy for that shit.
Yeah, right.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Seebeck.
A motion to refer the main motion and a postponed, let me start over. A motion to refer the main motion and a postponed, damn it, round 3. A motion to refer the main motion and a proposed amendment to committee is pending. If the motion to postpone indefinitely, this is why I got it mixed up because postpone is right below proposed. If the motion to postpone indefinitely all pending motions is made, the chair should A, rule the motion to postpone indefinitely out of order. B, advise the member that postpone indefinitely needs to go to the committee for consideration or be made immediately following a vote on the motion to refer the main motion. C, state the question on the motion to postpone indefinitely and remember that a 2/3 vote is required for its adoption. Or D, none of the above.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this
Say
is a
it.
complicated.
Yeah, say it again.
Okay, I'll try to say it correctly this time. A motion to refer the main motion and a proposed amendment to committee is pending. If the motion to postpone indefinitely all pending motions is made, the chair should A, rule the motion to postpone indefinitely out of order. B, advise the member that postpone indefinitely needs to go to the committee for consideration or be made immediately following the vote on the motion to refer the main motion. C, state the question on the motion to postpone indefinitely and remember that a 2/3 vote will be required for its adoption. Or D, none of the above.
I have no fucking idea. I'm gonna guess C.
And the answer is A.
Fuck.
That's out of order.
Okay. Well.
This one was complicated.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was
item B
thinking.
was a paragraph.
I was thinking A, but I couldn't really justify it. I mean, why
Okay, the
couldn't you
reference is,
postpone it indefinitely?
yeah, I
Okay.
know. The reference is section 11, and it's page 126, 15 to 19, which is the very first page of postpone indefinitely.
Okay.
It's under standard descriptive characteristics, item number 1.
Okay, I'll read it because that was easy to find.
Yeah.
The subsidiary motion to postpone indefinitely takes precedence over nothing except the main question to which it is applied. It is the lowest ranking subsidiary motion and yields to all other subsidiary motions, to all privileged motions, and to all applicable incidental motions. It doesn't go on to the next part?
No, that's number 2 here.
Yeah, but that didn't answer the question. If you continue, it says can be applied only to the main question and can therefore be made only while a main question is immediately pending. So in our circumstance, there was an amendment proposed.
Right.
So
And
that's
both of
what,
those are being referred to committee.
right. So that's what made it out of order. I'm surprised it didn't include that rest of it. Okay.
Well, if you look at 1, it kind of makes sense because if you can only apply it to the main question,
Well, it
the main
doesn't say
motion
that. It just says it takes precedence over.
over nothing except that.
Right. But number
So
two,
the main motion was already being sent to had a subsidiary motion to refer it to committee.
and
So
and
that has
an
right of way.
amendment.
Yeah. So those have right of way over postpone indefinitely, which is why it's out of order.
Yep.
If the motion to refer to committee and the amendment weren't there, then the postpone indefinitely would be in order.
Okay. Yep. Oh, I got it
Does
now.
that make sense? Okay.
The way to get those questions right then on postpone indefinitely is to remember it can only be applied to a main motion.
Yep.
Which is like the motion to substitute. If you're going to do a motion to substitute, you can't do it as the second level amendment. It has to be your first amendment. It can only be applied to a main motion. All right. That was you? Right? Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What day are we on?
I asked you.
Okay, and I got it wrong. So now we're
Yeah.
on the 12th.
The 12th.
Okay. Oh, this one I know you and I have. You didn't know this, and I only knew this because Alicia Matson taught me some. And I might not know the answer to this one, but this subject looped you before, and it's loopy. Okay. Which of the following statements is correct regarding the calling up of the motion to reconsider? A. The calling up of the motion to reconsider requires a second if it is made by other than the original maker of the motion to reconsider. B. When there is no need for immediate action and a session is to last beyond that day, it is the duty of the chair to point out the situation to the assembly. C. When there is no need for immediate action and a session is to last beyond that day, usually no one but the mover of the reconsideration calls it up. Or D. The calling up of the motion to reconsider requires a second if it is made by the original maker of the motion to reconsider.
Hi, vey. All right, give me the first part of this again, please.
The intro?
Yes.
Okay, it's which of the following statements is correct regarding the calling up of the motion to reconsider?
What do they call? What do they mean by calling up the motion?
Okay, you can reserve your right to reconsider. If you can say there's something and you want to preserve your rights, but you can't actually hear a motion to reconsider at that time, you can make the motion to reconsider and call it up at a later time when it's in order.
Okay, I think that makes sense. Okay, so what are the so that explains that part. What's the choices again?
The calling up of the motion to reconsider requires a second if it is made by other than the original maker of the motion to reconsider. Now, that's the exact opposite of D, which says the calling up of the motion to reconsider requires a second if it's made by the original maker. So A and D are opposites. It's the exact same statement, but opposites.
And as a general rule of thumb, when they're opposites, they're both wrong. So what else we got?
B, when there is no need for immediate action and a session is to last beyond that day, it is the duty of the chair to point out that situation to the assembly. C, when there is no need for immediate action and a session is to last beyond that day, usually no one but the mover of the reconsideration calls it up. This is a tricky one.
I'm going to go with C, only because it sounds better.
And you are correct. I am impressed.
I'm shocked.
And it's because it's a weird thing. Usually, I don't know. Whenever I see that, I go, you haven't been to a libertarian convention because none of the shit that happens is usual. Okay, so it's page 323. If you can let me know the squiggle.
Okay, hang on. 323 is 37.
Yeah, Michael Downs had it right. He said C as well. So it's the reconsider. And page 323, lines 21 through 35, and continuing on the next page.
Okay, section title is Calling Up the Motion to Reconsider.
Okay.
That's the second paragraph in there.
But you can read it because I haven't found it yet.
Okay, 21 to what again?
21 through 35.
Okay, that's just, okay, got it. Okay, privilege accorded the mover in regard to the time at which reconsideration takes place. Although any member can call up the motion to reconsider as just described, Usually no one but the mover of the reconsideration calls it up on the day the motion is made, at least in cases where the session is to last beyond that day and there is no need for immediate action. The reason that the mover may wish time to assemble, the reason is that the mover may wish time to assemble new information, or if the reconsideration is moved on the same day the original vote was taken, he may want the unrestricted debate that will be allowable if the motion is taken up on another day, see below. So long as business is not unreasonably delayed and the mover of the reconsideration acts in good faith, he is entitled to have it take place at a time he feels would make them for the fullest and fairest re-examination of the question.
All right, that makes sense then. I get it. Particularly the
It's down in
part
the weeds.
about debate rights being renewed.
Yeah, it's down in the weeds, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that certainly is. All right. I'm impressed. You did a good guess there.
It just sounded the best, to be honest. But A and D contradict each other, which means they're usually both wrong. And then B sounded like a word salad. So I said, let's try C. Okay, ready for the next one?
I am.
Sunday the 13th.
Oh, no, we're not doing Sundays. We're not doing Sundays.
Not
No.
doing Sundays?
Nope. So
you don't want to hear about discharging a committee?
No. So then you get 2 in a row. Remember, we're skipping the Sundays.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. The 14th. So the 13th was a day off. It's the witching day. Oh, you're going to get this.
Sunday,
is so
13th.
easy. Oh, man. I am jelly.
Famous last words.
No, you will get this. I hope. The previous question motion is used to A. Bring the assembly to a vote at a prescribed time on one or more pending questions. B. Close debate and the making of all subsidiary motions. C. Close debate on and stop amendment of the immediately pending question and such other pending questions as the motion may specify. Or D. All of the above are correct.
B.
It's C.
Now, wait a minute. Read those again. Read
Okay.
B and C again.
Okay. And I'm just Celedriel. I think that's the way you pronounce it. Thank you. Okay. So it's a previous question. A.
Right.
Bring the assembly to a vote at a prescribed time on one or more
No.
pending questions. Now, we know that's not correct because of the prescribed time.
Right.
B. Close debate and the making of all subsidiary motions.
Mhm.
C. Close debate on and stop amendment of the immediately pending questions and such other pending questions as the motion may specify. Now, here's why B isn't correct. It doesn't stop other subsidiary motions from being made that have a higher precedence than closing debate, than previous question. And C,
C to me sounds like call all previous questions, not just call the previous question.
I know they no, you have to listen, you have to, it's, you know, the way they word things sucks. Close debate on and stop amendment of the immediately pending question
That would be previous.
and such other pending questions as the motion may specify. So if you just say previous question, it's for the one, but if you say, you know, you call the question
All.
on all pending.
Yeah, that unravels the stack. And it sounds like the way C is worded, you're talking about the stack rather than just one.
No, it says of the immediately pending question and such
And
as the motion may specify. So if the motion says all, it's all. If not, it's just the immediately pending one.
I'm calling a shitty question on that one.
It's worded wiki.
Badly.
Yeah, it's worded badly, but in general, yeah, we understand it. You understand it, which is the whole point of this thing.
Supposedly.
Supposedly, these questions are worded really bad, and let me tell you, on the test, I think these are questions from the old test, which we're going to do one day, but the new test I think is worded much better. Like there were no really, like you can mark a question as I want to go back to it because it's all online.
Mhm.
And I've only had to do that for like one or two questions. They weren't all fucked up like these.
So, in other words, April didn't write the test questions.
No, they've improved the test in my opinion.
They fired April.
I would not want to take that old test. Okay, now.
All righty.
Burp, burp,
Tuesday.
burp. Sorry.
Tuesday the 15th. If there's another reconsider question. If the maker of the motion to reconsider fails to state which side the member voted on, the chair A immediately directs the member to state which side the member voted on. B rules the motion to reconsider out of order. C directs the member to state which side the member voted on as soon as the motion to reconsider is pending. Or D conducts a short sidebar to determine if the member is eligible to make the motion.
A.
It is A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that one, but it's easy to deduce as well.
Yeah.
And just
And
for. Oh, go ahead.
Since we're still in reconsider, it's over on. Still in section 37, over on page 330, 34 to 36, underneath one of the forms, an example. Here's what it says. If the maker of the motion to reconsider fails to state which side they voted on, the chair, before making any other response, directs the member to do so. Simple, straightforward, and hi, how are you?
Yep. Because reconsider can only be made by someone who
It's on the winning side, right?
was on the winning side. And
Right.
it can't be made, and Nick Starwork got tripped up with this. It can't be made. There's a difference between being someone who voted on the winning side and not being someone who voted on the losing side. And the difference being abstention. So if you abstained,
yeah.
you didn't vote on the winning side, and you can't call it up, or you can't make it.
Okay. That answers the question I was going to ask.
Yeah. Now in committees, committees is different. Committees, you couldn't have voted on the losing side, so abstentions then do count. Why it's different in committees, I don't know, but that's the rules. And I think that's where Nick got confused. I mean, I that's really in the weeds, but
Yeah. That's the murkiness of abstentions.
yeah. I'm not so sure I agree with that rule. I think if you abstained, you should be allowed to. Well, I guess not, because they're whatever. Yeah.
It's not a yes, therefore they say you can't do it.
Yeah.
If you it's kind of like it's not a 1, it's a 0, and it's so you can't, and it's not a -1, so you can't.
I wonder why it's different in committees, though.
I'm not sure, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's just because the committees are smaller and tend to be a little more informal.
I'm going to ask the priests. And we'll
Yeah.
see if Mr. Hahnemann's going to go get an education, girl. All right. It's your turn. You know how confused
16th.
I get. I'm so old right now. Are you
16th.
ready? Are you, the 16th?
Well,
you are?
Yeah, I'm ready, but what the hell?
Okay. When the details of the instructions to the committee are discussed in the subsidiary motion to commit, they can be handled more efficiently by A, using unanimous consent for the decision making, B, treating them as in filling blanks, C, handling each amendment as they are made according to the rules for amendments, D, taking the proposed amendments in gross.
Okay, say that one again.
When the details of the instructions to the committee are discussed in the subsidiary motion to commit, they can be
Okay.
handled more efficiently by A. Using unanimous consent for the decision making, B. Treating them as in filling blanks, C. Handling each amendment as they are made according to the rules for amendment, D. Taking the proposed amendments in gross. Let me add a detail they're assuming here. They're assuming there are competing ideas for the instructions to the committee. That
Well, in that case, is
when the motion to
yeah,
commit is made, people have different ideas about what the instructions should be. And they didn't explicitly say that here, but that is the context.
well, okay. Reasoning this out, C would not be the correct answer because we're looking at more efficient forms than just straight amending. Um, which one was the blanks?
B.
I'm thinking it's that one.
You are correct. Yes,
The hint
and
helped.
Roberts loves blanks with committees. I always guess the blanks question when it has to do with a committee. Page 172, which is section.
13.
Okay. And that's in fill blanks, isn't it? No, commit or refer. Yeah,
Right.
commit or refer.
Right.
And
Line numbers?
172, lines 16 through 18.
Okay. That is in the section further rules and explanation after the bullets and right before the paragraph that says dilatory motion to commit or dilatory. It says the following. It's one sentence. Although these details can be changed by ordinary amendments, they can often be handled more efficiently by treating them as in filling blanks.
Yep. Okay, yep. Let me mark you as right on that one. I think you're kicking my ass in general.
Well, this next one, I looked at it and I would have gotten it right without even checking the answer because even though I'm asking you because this is going to be really easy.
But don't ever say that because you know I always fuck it up whenever you say that.
No, you'll get this one. I'm pretty sure. Which of the following motions? This is Thursday, January the 17th. Okay, which of the following motions avoids a direct vote on a main question? A. Objection to the consideration of the question. B. Postpone indefinitely. C. Division of the question. Or D. Both A and B.
D.
You are correct. That was an easy one.
Yeah, at first when you were saying them, when you said objection, I go, oh, that's it. And then when you said postpone indefinitely, I'm go, ooh.
Wait for it.
Okay. Yeah.
That one was an easy one. This is in section 11 again, which is back to postpone indefinitely again. Yes, I think it is. Yeah, it is. Actually, part of it's that. It's also a different section. 126, 4 to 7. That's in the very first page on postpone indefinitely. It's the very first paragraph.
Yep. Okay, I got that. So postpone indefinitely is a motion that the assembly declined to take a position on the main question. Its adoption kills the main motion for the duration of the session and avoids a direct vote. It is useful in disposing of a badly chosen main motion, bad motion, that cannot be either adopted or expressly rejected without possibly undesirable consequences. It's a political move a lot of times.
Yeah, we don't want to deal with this. Now, the other half of this is back in section 26.
Which is objection to consideration.
Again, it is the very first paragraph. 267, 16 to 20 for the 11th.
Okay, that says the purpose of an objection to consideration of a question is to enable the assembly to avoid a particular original main motion altogether when it believes it would be strongly undesirable for the motion to even come before the assembly. Both of these can only be applied to main motions.
Correct.
And I screwed that up at one time. in a meeting, and that's how I learned that I was objecting to an amendment, and shouldn't have done that.
The first time I ever used consideration of the question, I had the California chair scrambling for Roberts because he's like, "What?"
Yep.
So,
All righty.
that was straightforward.
I'm glad to get one. Okay, speeding along. Oh, hold on. I've got like dust up my nose or something. All right.
Makeup, bam.
This is kind of long, so put on your listening ears.
What?
A motion to take from the table may not interrupt which of the following series of motions connected with bringing up a single item of business. That already was a tongue. You want to hear it again?
Yeah, please.
A motion to take from the table may not interrupt which of the following series of motions connected with bringing up a single item of business. Okay, A, I know it's giving me a headache and I'm looking at it. A, when a question has just been laid on the table for the announced purpose of admitting another motion. B, when the assembly just voted to suspend the rules and permit a certain main motion to be introduced. C, when a main motion has just been voted down after a member stated in debate that in the event the member would offer a different motion covering the case. D, all of the above.
Read the original again, please.
The intro?
Yes.
Okay. A motion to take from the table may not interrupt which of the following series of motions connected with bringing up a single item of business.
Okay. It can't interrupt something. So I really don't know for sure because that is a long.
It's long.
Combobulation of stuff. I'm going to say B because I think suspension of the rules would override it, but I'm not positive.
It is D, all of the above.
All of the above?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go through them. So we're not going to go through all these pages. We'll just reason through this. When a question has just been laid on the table for the announced purpose of admitting another motion. So A would be right because you can't lay it on the table and then immediately take it off the table without doing the thing you said you were laying it on the table to do.
Right.
B, you already understood, to suspend the rules and permit a different motion. That's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
C, when a main motion has just been voted down after a member stated in debate that in that event the member would offer a different motion covering the case.
Read. What's C again?
Let me say it in different words. It's like when you say, hey, if you guys should vote down this motion, and if you vote down this motion, I'm going to bring this motion, which is better. And then the main motion gets voted down. Can you, between that voting down and that member who said they would bring a new motion, bringing that new motion, can you take something from the table? And it's saying, no, you can't. You have to allow that member to make their promised motion. Which seems more like a courtesy. It seems more like a courtesy than a rule, but it's really not that many pages. It's section 34, page 302, 33 through 35, continuing on the next page. I thought it would be a shit ton of pages.
302, you said?
Yep, section 34.
Which is take from the table. And what's the lines?
33 through 35, and continuing on the next page.
Next page. Okay. Yeah, here's what it says.
What's the title?
It's under right of way in preference to a new main motion.
Got it. Okay.
That sounds like a traffic ticket rather than even if no question is pending, a motion to take from the table cannot interrupt a series of motions connected with bringing up a single item of business, but must wait until the complete series is disposed of. For example, such a series of motions is in process of being dealt with, bullet, when the assembly has just voted to suspend the rules and permit a certain main motion to be introduced, that's B. Bullet, when a question has been just been laid on the table for the announced purpose of admitting another motion. Bullet, when a previous action has just been rescinded or enable a conflicting main motion to be made. Or bullet, when a main motion has just been voted down after members stated in debate that in that event he would offer a different motion covering the case. That's C. In each of the above instances, until the main motion that it was specified has been made and disposed of, it is not in order to move to take still another question from the table.
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay. That covers it. But that was a lot.
And just so that you know, the 20th is a Sunday, so I get to answer 2 now, like you got to answer 2.
Okay. Well, here's Saturday the 19th. Did you just crumple that up?
The 20th I did.
Oh, okay.
The Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. A motion to amend an existing bylaw. Oh, goody. This will be fun. Requires previous notice and is now pending. Another motion is made to amend the motion. This motion would exceed the scope of the previous notice. Oh, you should get this one. The chair should, A, announce that if adopted, the motion to amend the existing bylaw will require a majority of the entire membership to be adopted. B, ask the assembly to decide whether the proposed amendment is out of order. C, rule that it's out of order. Or D, none of the above.
C.
Absolutely, it's C.
Yeah, you can't go beyond the scope of notice.
How many times have we talked about that in the committee?
Yeah.
Tons of times. Okay, section 35, page 306, 18 to 23.
Section
Not too
35?
far from where this were. 35, which is amend something previously adopted.
Oh, okay. I just saw rescind. And okay, go on.
Yeah. Okay, 306, 18 to 23, which is actually part of standard descriptive characteristic number 6.
Okay, so yeah, I see that. It says if a motion to amend something previously adopted is amended so that the change proposed by the amended motion then exceeds the scope of a previous notice that was given, the effect of the previous notice is destroyed and the motion can no longer be adopted by a majority vote. When these motions require previous notice, such a motion cannot be amended so as to make the proposed change greater than that for which notice has been given.
Doesn't say anything with the chair ruling out of order, but we know that's the case.
Yeah.
Because you can't exceed notice. Yeah, that one was pretty straightforward. It just had a long intro, but it's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, this one. Yeah.
Yay!
So,
I got one.
see, you got one.
Got one.
Okay, ready for part 2?
Yes.
Here's the 21st. A vote on motion A is taken under an order for the previous question.
What?
The vote.
What? Say it again.
A vote on motion A,
Mm-hmm.
A's in quotes, is taken under an order for the previous question.
Oh, okay, got it.
The vote on motion A is reconsidered before the order for the previous question is exhausted. Which of the following is correct?
It doesn't make any sense. Say it again.
Okay. A vote on motion A is taken under an order for the previous question.
A vote is taken. Okay, got it. Yeah.
The vote on motion A is reconsidered before the order for the previous question is exhausted.
Oh, because the previous question included other things.
Could be. I would guess yes.
Okay, got it.
Which of the following is correct? A. The order for the previous question still applies to both the motion to reconsider and the reconsideration of motion A. B. The order for the previous question only applies to the reconsideration of motion A. C. The order for the previous question no longer applies. D. The order for the previous question only applies to the motion to reconsider.
Okay, say the options again.
Okay. Um, Here's a hint. A and or B and D are one or the other.
Well, I'm
So
guessing C right now, but I want to hear them all again.
okay. The order for the previous this is A. The
Mm-hmm.
order for the previous question still applies to both the motion to reconsider and the reconsideration of motion A.
Okay, I'm gonna say why I don't think it's that is you can't have a previous question on a motion that wasn't even made yet. Like that requires a crystal ball.
Okay. B. The order for the previous question only applies to the reconsideration of motion A.
Same objection I have. Okay,
C. The order for the previous question no longer applies.
that's what I'm guessing.
And D. The order for the previous question only applies to the motion to reconsider.
I'm guessing C. I'm really guessing.
And the answer is A.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense to me. Say A again.
The order for the previous question
Mm-hmm.
still applies to both the motion to reconsider and the reconsideration of motion A.
That is interesting. So it can
Well, okay.
apply to a motion that didn't even exist at the time the previous question was ordered.
Well, remember, okay. Let's walk through this a second. C doesn't make any sense, and I'll tell you why. Because you haven't exhausted the order for the previous question.
Because there were other motions. Yeah, I
Right.
hear you.
So it still applies by definition.
To the other ones.
Yes.
I was taking
So
it as it no longer applies to motion A.
yeah, it's the
I know.
question could have been worded a little bit better. B and D are either or, with B being the reconsideration of the motion and D being the motion to reconsider, one or the other. A is both.
So
Is that
what's
how
the
it
pages?
works out?
Because that's weird. It's like
This
a
is
pre-crime.
section 37, and that is pages in the 11, 325, 11 to 17, and 21 to 24. Interesting, split on the same page. Okay, that is under section 37 is reconsider.
Mm-hmm.
The section title, the paragraph title is Effect of Adoption on the Motion to Reconsider, Rules Governing Debate on the Reconsideration. And it goes over, there's reconsideration and vote on the same day,
I found it.
reconsideration. Yeah, reconsideration under an order limiting or extending limits of debate. That's where it is.
Okay.
Okay, and it starts at 11, which is right there. If a vote on one series of motions is taken under an order limiting debate or for the previous question, and then is reconsidered before such an order is exhausted, as explained in the sections on those motions, previous citation, the same restrictions continue to apply to debate both on the motion to reconsider and on the reconsideration. In the case of reconsidering a motion similarly covered by an unexhausted order extending limits of debate, the extension applies only to reconsideration itself, not to the debate on the motion to reconsider. When reconsideration takes place after exhaustion of the previous question or a limitation or extension of debate, these orders do not come back into force, and debate on or amendment is subject to ordinary rules.
Okay. I got it. It's weird though that they make a different exception for extension of debate.
Yeah, it is.
I don't really understand why. Why do they got to make it so you got to learn a special rule like we were just talking about with committees with reconsider?
Because it's Roberts.
So that they can make you flunk the test.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because they don't want to have somebody moseying in on their little gig.
All right. Tuesday. Well, the days are wrong. The
Yeah,
22nd. The 22nd.
that's a Tuesday.
Is it this time?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah. Well, 19 it is.
Okay.
Or 19. In 2019 it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Postpone definitely, not indefinitely, definitely,
Okay.
may be applied to which of the following? A. To orders of the day or questions of privilege. B. To debatable appeals. C. All main motions, including any adhering and pending motions to postpone indefinitely, amend, or commit. D. All of the above.
C.
I would have guessed that. And it's D.
What?
I know. How can you
How can you
postpone definitely
postpone
orders of the
definitely
day?
orders of the day?
I know. I know. I know. I don't get it.
We said that simultaneously. What the hell?
I don't get it. Or privilege. How can you postpone definitely somebody's question of privilege?
You have to check your privilege, remember? This is the modern world.
Here we go. Section 14,
Okay.
which is postpone definitely.
Yep.
On page 181, 1 through 28.
I got within 2 pages. There we go. What was the number? What was the line numbers?
1 through 28 on page 181.
1 through 28. Okay, it's top of the page. This is part of standard characteristic 1 going into 2.
Okay. That doesn't answer. It doesn't what? Okay, let me read 1 through 2 here. Oh no, I'm on the wrong section. What section are we on? Never mind.
14.
I'm on the wrong section. No wonder I was so confused. I was on indefinitely. Derby, derby, derby. Okay.
Or-
Burp, 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 burp. I'm still confused though. I think this got reorganized, Mike.
Okay.
So you're gonna need to read it.
Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit to read all of 1. And how far? What was the line numbers for that again? 1 through what?
1 through 28.
Okay, so that goes through a large chunk of number 2. This is a whole page almost. Okay. Subsidiary motion to postpone to a certain time. It yields to the subsidiary motions to limit to or extend limits of debate, both for the previous question or to lay on the table, to a motion to amend that is applied to it, to all privileged motions, and to all applicable incidental motions. 2. Can be applied to main motions with any motions to postpone indefinitely, amend, or commit that may be pending, and can be thus applied to orders of the day or questions of privilege while they're actually pending as main motions. And such an application is independent of and does not affect any other matter that they may have interrupted. Can be applied to debatable appeals or points of order referred by the chair to the judgment of the assembly that are debatable when so referred. But if such an appeal adheres to the main question, that is, if the appeal must be decided before the main question is decided, the motion to postpone can be applied to the appeal only in connection with the main question, which is thus also postponed, can be applied to non-adhering debatable appeals separately without affecting the status of any other questions that may be pending, and can be applied to an immediate pending debatable motion to reconsider when it is in order to postpone the question or series of adhering questions containing the motions to be reconsidered, in which case all such questions and adhering motions are postponed with the motion to reconsider. And I don't know what the hell they just all said there.
Yeah, that was a word salad, man. That was like
That
a
was,
Mike.
no, that was a word salad bar.
That's like a Mike Shipley post.
Good Lord.
I get the orders of the day now, though. I understand
This is
what they
this is where
mean.
bullet points help.
What I think they meant by being able to postpone definitely orders of the day, they don't mean the person actually yelling orders of the day. They're meaning the actual orders that they're referring to. So you're not actually referring the objection of orders of the day. You're referring whatever that or whatever was supposed to be on the agenda.
Maybe that's where it got. Maybe that's where the
Yeah,
question is
because
up there.
I'm looking at some of the other references and I'm like, yeah, that has to be what that means. Otherwise, it makes no sense.
Yeah, because that's a 22-line sentence.
Whoa, that gave me a headache, and it's yeah.
The Brevity Caucus would hate that.
Oh, all right. So who was that?
That was you asking me, I think.
Okay, what day was that again? The 22nd?
The 22nd.
Oh my
The
God, that
22nd of
gave me a headache.
2019, 20, and 21.
Whew, that gave me a headache. Now it's okay. Got it.
That wasn't a question. That was a novella.
Oh man, that was a serial novel. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Cereal, snap, crackle, and bleh.
Bleh.
Okay. The 23rd of January 2019 was a Wednesday, or so the calendar claims. The proper phraseology for the chair to use if it is in order to take up the motion to reconsider.
What
They
is with their
obsessed about
obsession?
reconsider here.
Okay, so
It's like
say
the
it again.
fourth or fifth question on reconsidering.
Yeah.
They keep reconsidering. The proper phraseology for the chair to use if it is in order to take up the motion to reconsider is, okay, these are all in quotes.
Mm-hmm.
A, it has been moved and seconded to reconsider the following resolution, reading it off.
Mm-hmm.
B, it is moved and seconded to reconsider the vote on the following resolution, reading it. C, it is moved and seconded to consider the following resolution, reading it. D, it has been moved and seconded to reconsider the following resolution, reading it. The secretary will make a note of it.
Okay, now you're gonna have to give me the whole thing again.
The proper phraseology for the chair to use if it is in order to take up the motion to reconsider is.
Okay, so it's not C or D then. Okay, but read them anyway.
Okay, A, it has been moved and seconded to reconsider the following resolution. It reads it off. B, it is moved and seconded to reconsider the vote on the following resolution. Reading it off. C, it is moved and seconded to reconsider the following resolution. Reading it. D, it has been moved and seconded to reconsider the following resolution. Reading off. The secretary will make a note of it.
Okay, no, it's not D, but oh God,
No,
read
D's kind of
wrong.
ridiculous.
Read A, B, and C again.
Okay. A, it has been moved and seconded to reconsider the following resolution.
Mm-hmm.
B, it is moved and seconded to reconsider the vote on the following resolution. C, it is moved and seconded to reconsider the following resolution.
What's the difference between A and C?
A says it has been moved and seconded. C says it is moved and seconded.
Oh my God. I'm gonna B. I'm gonna guess.
That's correct.
Yeah, because I'm like it can't hinge on is and has. So, and you're not really reconsidering the resolution. You're reconsidering your vote.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Oof.
Yeah, that one you had to dissect the wording. Yes.
Now, D would have been
Because
right if it was to reconsider and enter in the minutes. That is what D is for.
right, but the only difference between A and D is that extra sentence about the secretary will make a note of it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You right.
So,
You make a note of it so that it can be called up later.
right.
Okay. That's reconsider and enter on the minutes, which is that weird, really in the
Yeah.
weeds thing.
But it is, yeah, but it is B because you are reconsidering the
The vote.
vote.
Yeah. Oh,
Right. Yeah, that was a tricky one because of the
I've got a
wording. This is
headache.
section 37, which is reconsider again. This is page 331, lines 9 to 13, and this is under forms and examples.
And forms and examples is towards the front. Is it before? No, standard descriptive, further rules and explanations.
Reconsider after reconsidering and standing in special committees.
I don't see forms and Okay, yeah,
This is
got
right
it, got
after
it,
the one we had
got
a
it.
few minutes ago where they were talking about which side were you on.
Okay.
It's
Well,
literally right after that.
yeah. You can read it, please.
Okay. If it is in order to take up the motion to reconsider when it is made, the chair immediately states the question as follows. Chair, it is moved and seconded to reconsider the vote on the following resolution. Reading it. If it is not in order to take up the motion, then blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah,
Right.
there it is.
Okay. But to me, honestly, this question is worshiping the rules for the sake of the rules. If you don't say the vote, if you say reconsider the resolution, everyone's still going to know what the fuck you're talking about. To me, this is form, is worshiping technicalities.
It's word splicing.
Yeah, and I don't like those kinds of games, but I get it.
And you got
Okay.
it right, so you
Yeah.
can't complain too much.
Alrighty. The
And
24th.
folks, I'm leaning on this because I'm kind of sitting sort of half on my bed, but I'm also fighting sore hips, so I'm trying to maintain something resembling comfort.
He needs a hip replacement.
No, I don't need a hip replacement. I need to keep the hips and transplant the rest of the body.
The hip's the only thing that's still good. Okay. Are you ready, Mr. Seebeck?
Well, I am. My hips aren't.
Okay. A main motion to amend an existing standing rule was given previous notice and is pending. A subsidiary motion to amend the main motion, exceeding the scope of previous notice. This is just like the other question, but it's for a standing rule rather than a bylaw.
2/3.
Okay, so subsidiary motion to amend the main motion exceeding the scope of previous notice is subsequently adopted. Which of the following votes will adopt the main motion as amended? You understand?
I think so.
So let me try to word it. There was previous notice given to amend a standing rule.
Right.
And there was a motion to amend that main motion, which goes beyond what notice was given for. That amendment passed.
Mm-hmm. And because
What does
we're
it
talking a
take
special
now
rule,
to adopt the main motion as amended? As
and
amended
because we're
beyond the
talking,
scope of notice?
and because we're talking a special rule, it is not out of order to do that amendment.
Because it is standing rule, correct.
Right. What's the choices?
Well, here's the choices. So you gotta, and it's not a special rule, it's a standing rule. There's a little bit of difference. A, the main motion is now out of order and must be ruled on by the chair subject to appeal or reconsideration. B, majority vote. This is worded really bad. C, 2/3 vote. D, both B and C are correct.
Well, it sure in the hell ain't D because the majority is subsumed by the 2/3. And I don't think the A makes any sense because the timing for that would be totally wrong. I'm still sticking with 2/3.
Yeah, that's correct. Now, let me tell you, though, why I thought it was worded badly and why someone could be tricked into saying D, even though I know you rejected it out of hand. Because the rule would be 2/3 vote or a majority of the entire membership. Not a majority vote, but majority of the entire membership. And somebody could read that quickly and get tripped up. But yeah, it is.
I blew right past it like it wasn't even there.
So, and nobody has had any questions. I think we're numbing them all. We're mind numbing them.
Audience, wake up!
First time I've seen the tinted pages referred to. So,
Ooh, that's in the back. That's in the way
tinted
back.
page number 13 is one of the references.
Okay.
That's all. Like, it just says tinted 13. So, is
What was this again?
yeah, what was the question? The question was on
The special rule?
standing rule. Does T13 make any sense to you?
No,
Okay,
it does
well,
not.
fuck it. Then let's do the other one. 306, lines 13 through 18.
Okay.
Section 35.
Which is rescind or amend something previously adopted. 30, what was that? 306, you said?
306, 13 through 18.
Okay, that is standard characteristic number 6.
Okay, and this is we just read this for the the bylaw one, so I don't want to read the whole thing again, but you'll notice it says when these motions require previous notice, as may be the case with respect to a motion to rescind or amend a provision of the bylaws or special rule of order. This was a standing rule. The standing rule is of less priority than a special rule of order. Even though some people call them all the same thing, this is why it's important to use the proper terminology. But it can get confusing.
Yeah.
But another reason why it can be a 2/3 vote is they didn't give this reference here. But you could have always suspended that rule by a 2/3 vote. So if the vote required to suspend it, if you reach at least that threshold, you can amend it. That's in a different section, but yeah. I think it's actually under the section where it talks about things being out of order. I'm just really curious here for point of order. I'm going to see if my memory is correct. Where's those ones where it talks about exceptions to raising it? Timeliness, is it? I don't know. 23.5. It says. Let me see. I could be. I'm getting really loopy here. Okay, here we go. Yep. Oh, my memory is good. Okay, so this is point of order under timeliness required for a point of order. And then there's A, B, C, D.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
B, a main motion has been adopted that conflicts with a main motion previously adopted and still in force unless the subsequently adopted motion was adopted by the vote required to rescind or amend the previously adopted motion. It's not the exact on point, but it's the same principle that if as long as you obtained the vote you would have needed anyway, what are you worried about, kind of thing.
I remember this section.
Yeah,
had
we
a
were
lot to
arguing
do with this when they were trying to throw me out the bylaws committee.
Yeah. And unintended consequences. They got rid of Margot too, and Margot's a rock star.
She is. So.
Okay, was that
24th? That was you asking me.
Yeah, and why did I mark you wrong on that one? You got that one right. Derp.
See, you're cheating.
I don't know why I did that. That's weird. I think it's because I'm having answer MB.
See, I told you cheat. You said I do it, and you're doing it.
All right. Mr. Seebeck.
Case closed.
And I have to get my wool blanket because it's fucking cold in this basement.
Tell you what, grab that real fast, and I'll grab a refresh of my drink.
Okay, so you're going to come back?
1 second.
All right. So Michael Downs had said, I have to bail. Continue your journey mastering RONR. It'll be appreciated. You're better than most. Hopefully, I'll remember the basics. Yeah, it's just a matter of reasoning through it. One of the whole reasons we do this is to demystify. So have a good day, Michael. Thank you for stopping by. I really, really appreciate it.
And it's easier to do this in chunks anyway, small chunks.
All right. Give me the chunks.
Okay, hang on. I'm not going to spew chunks.
Have you ever been to a Cuban restaurant?
Once.
At least in South Florida, and I don't know if this is a bad translation, but on the menu there's always something that's called a chunk, like pork chunks, and I'm like, ooh, I am never gonna order pork chunks and sauce.
The
God,
one that
no.
I was at in LA once had it too. So
Yeah, but it's on every Cuban menu in South Florida. I'm like, that's not a good translation, but okay.
no. Okay. Friday the 25th of January 2019. Excuse me. Soda belch. A main motion with an adopted amendment that added words is considered informally. The Assembly wants to remove the words. The Assembly should propose the following. A, an amendment to reconsider the vote on the motion to strike out the words. B, a substitute. C, an amendment to strike out the words. Or D, all the above.
Read it again.
Yeah. A main motion with an adopted amendment that added words is considered informally. The Assembly wants to remove
What was
the
considered
words.
informally?
A main motion with an amendment that added words to it.
So that whole procedure was done informally where they adopted a main motion?
It sounds like they took the main motion, amended it to add something, and then said, let's consider that whole piece informally.
Okay, that's very unclear. Okay.
The Assembly
but
wants
the
to
point is that the amendment has been adopted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The Assembly wants to remove the words.
Why didn't they just vote against adding them?
Remember, we're an informal consent. Well, they may have changed their mind when they realized this wasn't necessarily a good idea after all.
Okay.
The Assembly should then propose A, an amendment to reconsider the vote on the motion to strike out the words. B, a substitute. C, an amendment to strike out the words. Or D, all of the above.
I'm sorry, say the answers again because my mind wandered.
Okay.
And I want to go over each of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A, an amendment to reconsider the vote on the motion to strike out the words.
Wait, what? A? Say it
again. An amendment to reconsider the vote on the motion to strike out the words.
An amendment?
Yeah.
An amendment to what? That doesn't make any sense. An amendment?
I know.
Yeah, so that can't be... No, because a reconsideration is not an amendment.
I know.
Okay.
B, a substitute.
Which you could do.
C, an amendment to strike out the words. Or D, all of the above.
B.
They're not going to believe this.
All
but they're saying
above.
The answer is A.
What?
I agree, because A does not make any sense to me.
If they just said to reconsider, move to reconsider, I would have been fine with it. But what's an amendment to reconsider?
Well, the problem with A is that they're talking about striking out amendment on the vote on the motion to strike out the words. There never was a motion to strike out the words. There was a motion to add the words.
No, I thought you said they struck them out.
No, they said they want to do it,
Right.
but they haven't. That
So
means they haven't done it yet
right, they just
because
added them.
they're still informal. Yeah,
I don't think the informal means anything here, to be honest with you. I think that was just kind of thrown in there.
it tells
Um,
me that they haven't come to a decision of what they haven't made the motion to take it back out again.
I don't think it matters. I think that whole
So
informal thing's a red herring.
it could
But
be.
if it just said move to reconsider the vote on the amendment, that would have been okay. But
Yeah.
throwing in that word, an amendment to reconsider, what?
Mm-hmm.
Can we rule this
Yeah,
a shitty question?
I was going to call this a shitty question because
Yeah.
to me the correct answer is C, amendment to strike out the words.
Well, I wouldn't say it's C because you can't you can't just undo what you just did. Once you add words, you can't strike out the same words unless you have changed the motion in a way that makes it a substantially different question.
Yeah,
You would have to
I mean
reconsider. That's why,
D is obviously not it.
yeah, let's just forget that happened
Okay.
because that sucked. That
Yeah,
sucked.
I'm labeling that because yeah, an amendment to reconsider the that doesn't even make any
It doesn't
sense.
make any sense. An amendment to reconsider. A reconsideration is not an amendment. It's a subsidiary motion.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, that's just and again, it gets me in the vote on the motion to strike out the words. You haven't had the motion yet. The question here is which way do you
Oh,
take it? They haven't taken it anywhere yet.
oh man,
So yeah,
that is
April must have had a cameo. Goodbye.
one thing I did want to look up though. Where is
Yeah.
reconsider again? It is
No, I want to say it's section
30.
37, but yeah, it's section 37. We'll have that memorized by the time we're done today.
I just wanted to. Where is it? Um, is it? I wanted to check my memory. It is a subsidiary motion, right? That's all I wanted to double check, but I can't see
I
where it
think so.
says that.
Okay, hold on. You're in section 37. Reconsider. That's discharge a committee. That's not it. Um,
It doesn't say.
well, it's a green tab in mine. Does that mean anything?
Okay, yeah, green tabs are. Let's see what a rescind is. Um, incidental main motion. It's an incidental main motion. But still not an
Okay,
amendment. I was just trying to test my knowledge. But let me tell you something that's really shitty here. Here's where I was getting confused. Look here with the green tab where it just says
yeah.
rescind. Why
Uh-huh.
it should say rescind, or there should be two tabs, and amend something previously adopted. It's not intuitive to look under rescind when you're trying to look up something, amend something previously adopted. That's what
Uh-huh.
kept confusing me there. That's just a weird. To me, amend something previously adopted should be the tab, because rescind is kind of rare.
What in the bloody hell? Okay, I'm looking at this question. You know, we've labeled it shitty,
Yeah.
but the reference that it gives is way back in section 13 under commit or refer.
What you smoking, Willis?
I'm not kidding. I don't know if you can see that or not, but
That's dumb. Let's forget that happened, please.
yeah, let's take that one and burn it.
Oh, and I wanted to show you what I found. So there's this new Mountain Dew that's melon. So that's how I have
Oh
this pink
God.
Mountain Dew. But I also found it in zero because you know I don't drink sugar. So Major Melon Zero. It's delicious and it matches
I'm
me.
gonna go up. I'm gonna go up to North Dakota and bring you back a 12-pack of caffeine-free Diet Mountain Dew.
That is blasphemy.
I know, but it exists.
All right, so your turn, right?
It's right in the same vein as caffeine-free Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke.
O'Doul's. It's the O'Doul's of soda.
Would you
Okay,
believe there's a Coke that has coffee in it?
there is?
Yes, there is.
Never heard of that, but I like Jolt Cola.
Well, yeah, that's all the sugar and twice the caffeine.
Yeah,
That doesn't keep you awake. That keeps you awake for the next week.
not me. I can drink so much caffeine and still go to sleep because I'm burnt. My nerves are burnt. Here we go. The 26th.
26.
And yeah, you get two, right? Because the next
Right,
one
'cause
is right.
The 27th is a Sunday.
A Sunday.
Yes.
Okay, so you get two questions. The vote required for the adoption of the incidental main motion, limit or extend limits of debate, is 2/3, majority of the entire membership, a majority, or D, both A and B.
Majority. C.
It's 2/3. Limit or extend limits of debate. I would view it almost like the way I remember it's 2/3. It's almost like a suspension of the rules because your rules have certain limits of debate, certain parameters, and if you're going to change that, it is in effect a suspension of the rules, which is 2/3.
I'll buy that.
So the question here is because there's certain
say the question again. Please.
okay. And I have
Just the
another
first
way
part.
to explain it to you. If you think about it as a member rights thing, you never should be able to suspend or limit rights or even expand
Yeah.
rights with just a majority. So
Okay, give it the first part.
the vote required for the adoption of the incidental main motion, limit or extend limits of debate. So either restrict or expand rights.
Uh-huh.
And then the answers were A, 2/3.
Okay.
You know.
Got it.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I'm good. You want a hopscotch one? The 29th asks like almost exactly the same question.
it does?
Yes.
So to me,
Yeah.
so you want me to do the 29th?
Yeah, we'll come back to the other one. I'll tell you.
Okay.
It's literally this is going to be a gimme for you
I love
because
gimmies.
the answer to this question is in the one you have in your hand.
Okay, I love gimmies. Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Okay. When limit or extend limits to debate is made when no question is pending, it is treated as what?
Mm-hmm.
You just said it a minute ago.
Well,
A, an incidental main motion. B, an original main motion. C, a motion that maintains its ranking in the ranking of motions, whatever the hell that is. Or D, a subsidiary motion.
incidental main motion.
Like I said, this is a gimme.
And the funny thing is, if it was reversed and I had to answer that one first, I probably would have fucked it up because I always screw up between incidental and subsidiary.
Yep. But yeah, you just said the answer to that question, and it was in this one. It's like, really?
Yeah, I love gimmies.
Okay. Back to the 28th.
Okay, back to the 28th. So it's a new question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Which of the following is a recommended procedure to dispose of a pending question without a direct vote and without debate? They keep
A shredder.
They keep recycling the same things. A, use the motion to postpone indefinitely. If adopted, the motion is killed immediately. B, use the motion for the previous question immediately so the motion can be voted down. C, use the motion to postpone indefinitely, follow immediately with the motion for the previous question. D, none of the above.
Okay, give me the first part again.
Which of the following is the recommended procedure to dispose of a pending question without a direct vote and without debate? A, use the motion to postpone indefinitely. If adopted, the motion is killed immediately. B, use the motion for the previous question immediately so the motion can be voted down. C, Use the motion to postpone indefinitely and follow immediately with the motion for the previous question. D, none of the above.
And it's to dispose it without
A direct
further
vote
debate.
and without
Direct
debate.
vote. Okay, without direct vote means you don't want to do any previous questions because that would be a direct vote on it. So it's going to be one of the postpone indefinitely. And I think
Let me clear. I don't want you to get snagged in something. I can tell by reading this they mean a direct vote on the main motion. So don't
okay.
worry about a direct vote on a previous question. I don't want you to get snagged on something silly.
Oh.
I'm
So
not
they're saying
saying
that they
that's right or not. I'm just seeing
So,
you
so they're
going.
saying that they don't want to have a vote on the main motion?
They don't want a direct vote on the main motion, and they don't want any debate on anything.
That's postponed indefinitely. Then I'm going to say A.
It's C.
C, which was
Use the motion to postpone indefinitely followed immediately by the previous question.
okay. What was the state of the whole thing in the first place?
You want to dispose of a pending question without a direct vote, which is accomplished by postpone indefinitely, and without debate. You get to debate a motion to postpone indefinitely. So if you use the motion to postpone indefinitely, then follow it immediately by the previous question, you've avoided all debate.
You're debating the question of postponing indefinitely, but not the question itself, right?
You won't be debating anything if you move to postpone indefinitely and then move the previous question, because that's an undebatable. And if that gets adopted, then you vote
postpone indefinitely is debatable or not?
Yes. We can double check that, but yes, I believe so. Let's look.
I'm confused. Because you're trying to avoid debate, but you're doing a motion that causes debate. How are you doing this?
I could be incorrect. Is debatable.
Postpone indefinitely is debatable.
And it can go into the merits of the main question.
Right.
So that's why you would have to move to postpone it indefinitely, because adoption of that would kill it, but you don't want any debate, so immediately follow that by moving the previous question.
But but because the motion to postpone indefinitely can go fully into the merits of the main question, aren't you still having a debate on the main question?
Not if you move to postpone indefinitely, then move the previous question. Because that would mean a vote would proceed without debate on the motion to postpone indefinitely.
Oh, okay. The motion to call the previous question is about the motion to postpone indefinitely.
Yes.
Okay. Now I got it.
The way it was worded, I knew it was tripping you up a little bit. I was trying to lead you along a little bit, but I know it gets weird it's particularly weird when you don't see the question. A lot of people sometimes may be wondering why we're getting some wrong that they would, but when we're in person, sometimes we show each other the question because seeing it is a little different.
Yeah, now I understand what they're saying there. That was okay. It makes sense now. I just wasn't following what they were saying. I thought the previous question had to do with the main motion, not the postpone indefinitely. That's
right.
Yeah. So
okay, I did the 29th already.
Right.
So we're on the 30th.
So the 30th.
Okay.
Right.
Are you ready?
Well, sort of.
Okay. The debate on a resolution has had spirited debate for over 20 minutes. When another member is at the microphone and has the floor, a different member yells out, "I call for the question." Another member yells out, "I second the motion." What should the chair do?
Say, "Shut up, Aaron."
A, remind the assembly that anyone wishing to speak must go to the microphone to be recognized. B, ask the member who yelled out, "I call for the question," to proceed to the microphone for priority to present the motion. C, state the motion and take the vote on ordering the previous question. D, take the vote immediately on the resolution.
A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't even need to, do that. You got to,
No.
unless it's of urgent.
You got to be recognized.
Yeah. Unless it's a privilege, a question of privilege that is urgent, like the example we gave before is the building on fire. And you can't be the douche at the mic who goes, Mr. Chair, I had the floor. Okay.
Which the response to the chair is, you can have the floor, the rest of the building's on fire.
And then I get 2 in a row because of the 31st and then 1st.
Correct. Because of the oddness of the month. Okay. Thursday, January 31st, 2019 was my birthday. They give us a paragraph. Okay. If reconsideration of a motion is adopted on the same day of the original motion, and a member already exhausted the debate limit for the reconsidered motion, which of the following is correct about debating the reconsidered motions on the same day? Okay, this is about limits of debate by an individual. A, the member will not be able to speak on the reconsidered motion on the same day without permission of the assembly, only if the reconsideration was at the same meeting. B, the member's right to debate is independent of the extent to which the member took part in debate on the original motion. C, the member will not be able to debate without permission of the assembly. D, the member will not be able to debate on the same day without a suspension of the rules.
Read it again.
Okay. If reconsideration of a motion is adopted on the same day of the original motion, and a member has already exhausted the debate limits for the reconsidered motion, which of the following is correct about debating the reconsidered motion on the same day?
Okay, now let me just stop 1 second. I know that the member does not have debate rights. Now I'm just trying to figure which of those that talk about him not being able to debate is right.
Okay. A, the member will not be able to speak on the reconsidered motion on the same day without permission of the assembly, only if the reconsideration was at the same meeting. You're giving me this really bizarre look.
I don't. Okay.
B, should I continue? Okay. B, the member's right to debate is independent of the extent to which.
B.
Yeah. C, the member will not be able to debate without permission of the assembly. D, the member will not be able to debate on the same day without a suspension of the rules.
It has nothing to do with suspending the rules, I don't think. I think they need permission. So I'm going between A and C, and that whole thing of it being the same meeting is throwing me for a loop. I'm going to guess C.
It is C.
Yeah, that's I don't think it matters. Yeah. I think it matters the day.
The meeting thing was a red herring.
Yeah, that gave me a headache. So, but I want to read, so it's reconsider, which is section
37. Again.
Derby.
Here we go again, section 37. Okay. There's multiple pages here. Okay. They're all over the damn place. Okay. First one is 323, line 1, which says, for rules affecting a member's right to debate on the reconsideration, if the motion to reconsider adopted, see pages 324 to 325, which is the next citation. So that was useful. 324, 30 to 35 into the next page, 1 to 5, which is the section effect of adoption of the motion to reconsider rules governing debate on the reconsideration. Haven't we been here before?
Yeah.
Okay. Reconsideration of a vote on the same day is the paragraph.
Okay.
A member's right to debate on the reconsideration of a vote is independent of the extent to which he took part in debate on the motion to reconsider. Which is not B, because B was about debate in the original motion.
Right. Okay. That was trying to trick you.
Right. If the reconsideration takes place on the same day as the first consideration, however, anyone who exhausted the right to debate on the first consideration will not be able to speak again and again during the reconsideration without permission of the assembly. There's C.
Right.
But such a member can pursue an equivalent purpose while the motion to reconsider is pending, since the motion is proposed to be reconsidered is also open to discussion and debate on the motion to reconsider.
And what was weird about A that was throwing me for a loop, how would you have multiple meetings on the same day? So you'd have to adjourn for like the afternoon and come back at night, and that'd be a different meeting on the same day?
I guess.
I'm going to see here. I'm trying to look at the definition of
I've
meeting.
only seen something close to that happen once, and that was in California on XCOM, but we didn't adjourn, we recessed.
Let me see here. 8-2.
And that was actually a recess with a reconvene in a different location and time because we had to switch rooms. We recessed from our meeting room and reconvened in the Elvis suite at a casino.
Yeah, a meeting of an assembly is a single official gathering of its members in one room or area, blah, 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 in which there is no cessation of proceedings and the members do not separate except for a short recess. So if you actually adjourned and then came back later that same day, so you could have multiple meetings on a day, but that doesn't happen very often.
It's infrequent.
Yeah. And they warn you later that, so when you go to lunch or something, don't say it's an adjournment for lunch, which some people do. It's a recess for lunch.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, we had when we were trying to figure out the location and such for the 2011 California convention, we originally had the XCOM meeting at a meeting room. This is up in Reno. And then because we still hadn't decided on a location, we were scheduled to tour 2 venues that day afternoon to figure out what was going on. We did a recess to do those tours and reconvene at the second location in the evening after everything to discuss everything and come up with an answer. So it wasn't an adjournment per se. It was just a recess with a caveat of a different location reconvening.
But you want to know
Which is a
something? I
little
think
weird.
that should have been an adjournment because it talked about.
It may have been.
There's another section under 8 where they talk about. One second. Let me see if I can remember where that was, because there was something technical about it. Yes, a recess is a short intermission or break within a meeting that does not end the meeting or destroy its continuity as a single gathering. During the recess, members may leave the hall or room in which the meeting is held, but they are expected to remain nearby. So there's somewhere else in here where it talks about if people, like if where you're meeting doesn't have facilities for food or to use the bathroom or whatever, then you should adjourn because people are leaving the premises to go do whatever they need to do. But if it's possible for them to stay on premises, then it would be a recess.
Well, it may have been an adjournment. I don't remember. It was literally 10 years ago. So.
Yeah, well, who cares? That's one of those technical things,
Right.
I mean, there's some rule I'm sure that's impacted, but
yeah, it worked out in the end. So, okay, so we're back to the first of the month of February of 2 years ago. So you ready? Here is more reconsider. What the?
They have reconsider on the brain.
Apparently, even the Sunday one is a reconsider coming up, even though we're not doing it. Okay. The proper phraseology for the chair to use. Oh, one of these again. Wait, didn't we just have this one? Wait a minute.
They're just trying to pound it in our brain.
Pause for this important commercial. What the fuck, Matt? What the fuck question here?
See, I have to keep moving around now to keep warm. I'm
That's it.
cold.
Oh, okay. It's not the same,
Okay.
barely. Okay. You remember back on the 23rd, we had that phraseology
Yeah,
question
with a
about
vote.
if it's more a motion to reconsider?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one asks the question the proper phraseology for the chair to use if it is not in order to take up the motion to reconsider.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. A. It has been moved and seconded to reconsider the following resolution. Reading it off. The secretary will make a note of it. B. It is moved and seconded to reconsider the vote on the resolution relating to blah, blah. The secretary will make a note of it. C. It is moved and seconded to reconsider the following resolution. Reading it. The secretary will make a note of it. D. It has been moved and seconded to reconsider the following resolution. Reading it. The secretary will note that the motion cannot be called up.
What was B again?
It is moved and seconded to reconsider the votes on the
It's B.
resolution relating to so on. The secretary will make a note of it.
B.
Okay. That is the correct answer.
Because it says the vote. That's the only reason I picked it, because I remember last time the key word was the vote. And
But if it's not, but here's the problem. The question says the proper phraseology for the chair to use if it is not in order to take up the motion.
right, to take it up. But a motion to reconsider is one of those things that you can move even when it's not in order to take it up. You're reserving your right. It's like reconsider and enter on the minutes. Reconsider is a special kind of motion that you can move and then take it up at a different time. Let's
Okay,
see.
wait a second here. Wait a second. Because are we saying that it is not in order to take it up at that particular time in terms of it can be done later?
Right.
Or is it the motion itself is out of order?
No, I think they said it wasn't in order to take it up at that time. It didn't say to move it.
Okay, fair enough. And I'm asking the question, I'm trying to be clear here because it's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is back to section 37 again. This is page 331 again.
Which is.
And hang on, I'm getting there. Forms an example again.
Okay, forms an example. Let me find forms an example.
Okay. Remember before I read it off and I started to say the next section if it is not in order to take up the motion?
Yeah, forget about forms and example. Let's look at the whole thing about one second here. If we can find something that talks about how you can make it without being, even when it's out of order for it to be heard. That's what I was trying to find. So let's see if I can find that quickly. If not, yeah, if standard descriptive characteristics number 1, with respect to making the motion, takes precedent over any other motion whatever and yields to nothing. The making of this motion is in order when any other question is pending and also after the assembly has voted to adjourn. If the member rose and addressed the chair before the chair declared the meeting adjourned. If a reconsideration appears to require immediate action in the latter case, the vote on adjourning must be retaken.
Yeah.
Okay, but then if you continue with respect to its consideration, meaning taking it up, it can be at any other time, basically.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah, because in the form of an example, the motion to take it up later is literally right after the other section, and the only difference to it is that when it's in order to be taken up, then they read it off, and if it's not, then you just say relates to whatever, and then make a note of it.
Yeah, then
that's
the
only
secretary
difference.
makes a note.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for a minute, I'm like, wait a minute, didn't we just do this one?
Yeah, but I knew that the key word there was and vote,
Yeah. Well, once we got to the not part, that was the flip around. Yeah. So, okay. Now I guess we're to Groundhog Day.
1
Does
second.
parliamentary does parliamentary Phil see a shadow or see his
One,
gavel?
I wanted to see one other thing. In my book, it's 3746, which is after those pages with the form and example,
Okay.
which is
Reconsider and
reconsider and
enter
enter
on the
on the
minute.
minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
We know it's about the temporary majority, but I wanted to look for what the difference is from the regular form. Can only moved on the same day. Okay. It takes
Uh-huh.
precedence. Um, Procedure.
Every single one of the bullets underneath underneath those differences is in a hole
Yeah.
punched on the page on mine.
Ah, that's funny. Okay. Never mind. I got it.
Or the numbers, as the case may be. But yeah, still, it's like, what? Okay. So, February 2nd, does parliamentary Phil see his gavel? Do we have 6 more weeks of Robert's rules?
Yes.
Okay.
And Sunday is the third, so you're going to get 2 in a row.
Right. And that one was about reconsidering.
But this one isn't.
What a concept
It's about postpone definitely.
to reconsider it. Yes.
Which of the following is correct about the subsidiary motion to postpone definitely? A. It can be postponed indefinitely or committed.
Okay.
B.
Keep going.
It can be laid on the table alone. C. It can be moved after the adoption of a motion to close debate on a main question at a definite hour or to a motion to limit the total time allowed for debate. D. None of the above.
This is a hold on. Dog is asking to go out. Let me think about it too.
And while he's putting the dog out, just to show you guys, if you want one of these fancy ones that are already spiral bound and that you can get the little tabs for, the National Association of Parliamentarians has these. They don't come tabbed, but I'm just letting them see my fancy.
Yep.
You order the tabs separately, but they do sell them like that. Or they sell them only hole punch too if you want to put them in a binder like Mr. Seebeck did, and as I did as well. Okay.
And they sell the binders too.
They do, but I like the one. There's certain never mind, but I got just a regular organizer one that I like better. But all right,
Okay, let's restate the question.
okay. Which of the following is correct about the subsidiary motion to postpone definitely?
Okay.
It can be postponed indefinitely or committed.
No.
It can be laid on the table alone.
Possibly.
It can be moved after the adoption of a motion to close debate on a main question at a definite hour, or to a motion to limit the total time allowed for debate. Or D, none of the above.
Ain't D.
I'm sorry?
Not D. Because I don't think it's D. Give me C one more time. That was a mouthful.
I know this whole thing's giving me a headache. It can be moved after the adoption of a motion to close debate on a main
Yeah.
question at a definite hour, or to a motion to limit the total time allowed to debate.
I'm not sure that that's all accurate, so I'm going to stick with B just because of brevity, but I'm not sure.
It can be laid on the table alone.
Yes. I'm
It's
guessing, right?
it's D, none of them.
Okay.
That's rare in these quizzes.
That is rare. We tend to habitually discount none of the above.
Yeah. I don't know why it can't be. Oh, I get it says alone. Okay. Let me tell you why B's not a right. The motion to postpone definitely adheres to the motion it wishes to postpone. So if it
Because
goes on
it's
the
a
table,
subsidiary.
it doesn't go
Because
alone.
because it's a subsidiary.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And the reason C wasn't right is how can you postpone definitely a motion to limit the total time allowed for debate? It's like the whole purpose is to wrap this thing up, type thing.
Right.
But B was
Yeah.
tricky.
C didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, B was tricky. It was tricky.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the whole adhering motion. All right, on to the fourth. We're making good progress.
Fourth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there was a
What happened?
Sunday.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Duh. Because that's right. Because the third was about reconsideration again.
All righty. Why
That seems to
should
be the
the...
theme here.
I thought I heard the Clydesdales upstairs. Why should the
Wait, stable the horses.
why should the term co-chairman be avoided? A. It causes impossible dilemmas in attempts to divide the functions between the chairman and the vice chairman.
Mm-hmm.
B. It causes impossible dilemmas in attempts to share the functions of a single position. C.
Mm-hmm.
It is not necessary because vice chairman is an acceptable term. D. None of the above.
It's not going to be D again. C doesn't make any sense. It leaves A and B to look at here. They're both impossible dilemmas. Now, A was doing what again?
It causes impossible dilemmas in attempts to divide the functions between the chairman and the vice chairman.
Okay, and B?
It causes impossible dilemmas in attempts to share the functions of a single position.
I'm going with B.
You are correct.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I think it is. I just had to hear the choices a
Yeah.
second time to make sure.
And the reason it isn't A is this question assumes you have a co-chairman and a vice chairman. Like, it's not...
Which is ridiculous.
Right. It's not using that term as a substitute for vice chair.
Or to quote Oprah, you get a chair, you get a chair, you get a chair, you get a chair,
We
you get a
all
vice chair.
get a chair.
Except for that one, he gets the vice chair.
Yeah. Are you going to be able to come down here next weekend?
I don't know the answer to that question yet.
Otherwise, we'll do another.
Lid's got a we have platform on Sunday, and Lid's got a thing going on Falcon. I think earlier in the day. I'm not sure yet.
Well, just let me know.
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay.
So, we still got a stack here though to go. So.
Oh no, I know, but we're making good progress.
Oh yeah. Where are you going, Bill?
I don't know if you have a definite quit time.
I don't.
I figured we'd get through next Sunday.
I figure we just go through, see if we can make our way through the stack.
Yeah, which is through the end of February.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Tuesday the 5th. Guess what this is about again?
Postpone definitely or reconsideration?
It's reconsider again.
All right.
Well, actually, it's more like previous question, but there's reconsider mentioned. Oh, God. A motion or series of motions that is under an order for previous. Let me
And what
start
date
over.
is this?
This is February 5th.
Okay.
Okay. A motion or series of motions that is under an order for the previous question comes up after having been postponed. A member moves to reconsider the vote on the order for the previous question. The chair should A. State the question on the motion to reconsider, debate, and vote. B. Rule the motion for reconsideration out of order. C. Put the motion to reconsider to a vote. It is because it is undebatable. Or D. None of the above.
Say 'em again. I understand the intro. I just need the answers.
Okay. A. State the question on the motion to reconsider, debate, and vote. B, rule it out of order. C, put the motion to a vote because it's undebatable. Or D, nota.
A.
The answer is B.
What was B again?
Rule out of order.
Wow. So you can't reconsider previous question? Is that what it's saying?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the
Section 16, not reconsider. That's actually no,
previous
not modified
question?
debate. Previous question, yeah. And that is pages 205 into 206, which is section titled Reconsideration of a Vote That Is Ordered the Previous Question.
Where is that?
It is after exhaustion of the previous question.
Uh-huh.
This is all under further rules and explanations.
Okay.
And it is before forms and examples. Okay. So it's reconsideration of a vote that has ordered the previous question.
Right.
Okay, 20, 30 to 35 in the next page. It should be noted that if a motion or a series of motions that is under an order for the previous question comes up after having been postponed, there can never be a reconsideration of the order. The reason that the motion to postpone can only have been made before the previous question was ordered, so that the order for the previous question, turn the page, maybe,
Will
they're
have been
stuck together,
partly executed.
always have been, hang on. The reason that the motion to postpone can only have been made before the previous question was ordered, so that the order for the previous question will always have been partly executed by the vote caused, I think that's 2.
Where?
I have a hole there. The vote that caused something postponement. I have a hole in the page.
That caused the postponement.
The postponement. Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna.
That's it.
So it was the postponement. You can reconsider it, but you can't reconsider it if even a part of it has been exhausted. And they're saying that I don't get it. The reason is that the motion to postpone can only have been made before the previous question was ordered. Got it. So
And we're under
that's
the order at the moment, so it's already been made.
partly executed. Okay, I got it. That was really tricky. That's in the weeds there.
Yeah, that is in the weeds.
In person, it would be obvious. It's on paper that it's in the weeds. In person, you would have seen it was partly executed. I don't think that would be so complicated in person.
Okay,
But
I'll take your word for it.
Number 6. I mean, February 6th.
February 6th.
Guess what it's on?
Numbers.
Guess what it's on, Mr. Seebeck?
I don't know, but you should have the answer to the bottom one of the stack right there. You gotta watch what you're doing.
Well, no, they're
Yes.
not. They're not in order. I fucked them all up,
Oh.
and I keep having to put them in order. So nope.
But whatever that one was, the answer was C. But anyway.
No, they're out of order.
Okay.
What do you think the 6th is about?
More reconsideration.
Yes.
God. I'm just going to turn to section 37 now.
Yeah, might as well.
Get ahead of the curve here.
Okay. When, if ever, may the motion to reconsider the vote on an affirmative vote on the previous question be made? A. Only after the vote ordering the previous question is completed and before the first vote is taken under the order. B. The affirmative vote on a previous question may not be reconsidered. C. Any time within the regular time limits of the motion to reconsider. Or D. All of the above. We kind of answered this last time.
I think we did, but give it to me again.
When, if ever, may the motion to reconsider the vote on an affirmative vote on the previous question be made?
Okay.
A. Only after the vote ordering the previous question is completed and before the first vote is taken under the order. B, the affirmative vote on a previous question may not be reconsidered. C, any time within the regular limits of the motion to reconsider. D, all of the above.
Give me A one more time.
Only after the vote ordering the previous question is completed and before the first vote is taken under the order.
That's assuming something that's not in the context of the question.
What's it assuming?
That the order that was adopted and subject to reconsideration has an effect that requires something to be voted on.
No, they're saying voting on, I move the previous question and you take a vote on that. That's the vote they're talking about.
And give me B.
The affirmative vote on a previous question may not be reconsidered.
I don't think that's right. C.
Any time within the regular time limits of the motion to reconsider.
I'm going to go with that one, I think.
With C?
Yeah.
It's A.
It's that word salad A?
Yeah. Only after the vote ordering the previous question is completed. So I move the previous question and then it is affirmative. And
Right.
before the first vote is taken under the order so that it's not partially executed.
Okay. That sounds like the weeds again.
It's like what we were talking about last time.
Oy.
It can't be partially executed. It can only be done before it's executed at all. So it has to be immediately after the previous question has been ordered.
Oy. Oh Lord, that's in the weeds.
Yeah, it is. But we'll start to master that.
Why are they so obsessed about reconsidering things in this site?
I have no freaking idea. Let me put these in order. And is it my turn?
Yeah, 7th. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, it's not about reconsideration.
Goody.
What
Is
a
it about
concept.
commit?
No,
Okay.
it's one of our other favorites, postpones.
Oh, well.
When a question is due when a question is due to come up after a postponement, it may be subject to a priority that depends on A, discretion of the chair, B, the form in which the motion to postpone was adopted, C, the discretion of the maker of the motion to postpone, or D, nota.
Say that whole thing again.
Okay, it's actually pretty straightforward. When a question is due to come up after a postponement, it may be subject to a priority that depends on A, the discretion of the chair, B, the form in which the motion to postpone was adopted, C, the discretion of the maker of the motion to postpone, or D, none of the above.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to guess B.
It is B.
Yeah, that was just the logical guess to me because it's, did you make it a special order? Did you? Right.
How the hell was it written?
Right.
The discretion of the maker of the motion. How does he have discretion on that? And
he has discretion when he
discretion of
words
the
the
chair.
motion. That's the only time he has discretion. So that's why C implied B.
Yeah. C doesn't make any sense. And A, discretion of the chair, that doesn't make any sense either because then he can discreetly say, I'm not going to bring this up at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the form of the motion as B. That's to me that's pretty straightforward. It's how'd you word the darn thing.
Yeah. Ugh. I'm stiff because it's cold down here. Okay.
Okay, this is under section 14, which is postponed to a certain time. I'm getting better at flipping through with Roberts. I'm getting within 1 or 2 pages almost every time now. This is page 185. 31 to 33, priority of postponed items and its relation to orders of business and orders of the day.
Yeah.
It is under a section called Further Rules and Explanations.
I think that's been rewritten a bit, so.
Okay, I'll read it off. When a question is due to come up after postponement, it may be subject to a priority that depends on the form in which the motion to postpone was adopted. That's B. Rules affecting the postponement of more than one item of business to the same or conflicting times are closely related to order of business and orders of the day according to the principles that may be summarized as follows, and it goes down through the list.
Yeah, this has been totally rewritten in this in the new version.
Okay, what does that say? What does that
No,
say?
it has the same pieces, but they put it in all different spots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it seems to me it's pretty straightforward. How'd you
Yeah.
write the thing in the first place? Dictates what you're doing. Someone says hello. Hello, Julian.
Hey, Julian, he's my regular. And whenever he doesn't make it to any of the lives. Yeah, this isn't a normal Pink Flame of Liberty. This is the cult. The cult of RONR. And we put, like, I think some people put this on to go to sleep. All right, Mr.
We're
Seaback.
much more entertaining than C-SPAN.
Barely. The 8th. Oh, we've done this one before.
We have?
Yes. If a chairman is not designated when the committee is appointed by an assembly,
Oh,
how
boy.
is the committee chair selected?
Choices?
A. The committee has the right to select its own chairman. B. The chair of the assembly selects the committee chair. D. The assembly votes on the committee chair. D. All of the above are correct.
Okay, give me the original first part.
If a chairman is not designated when the committee is appointed by an assembly, how is the committee chair
An
selected?
assembly. Okay, if it's by an assembly,
Mm-hmm.
not a board.
Correct.
Okay. So, and then the choices are
The committee has the right to select its own chairman.
maybe,
The chair of the assembly selects the committee chair.
no,
The assembly votes on the committee chair.
maybe,
D. All of the above.
no. Because it ain't B, it ain't D. I gotta go C.
It's A. The committee has the right to select its
Okay.
own chair.
Okay, I'll buy that.
But I would have gotten confused on this because I thought it was the first named person. Remember, we dealt with that at
So
one
yeah,
time?
I would. But is that for the chair of the committee or the interim chair of the committee?
No, chair of the committee.
Okay, what's the citation on that one?
Okay, section 13. So it's 176, 7 through 15.
Okie dokie, hang on. 176, 7 through 15. Okay. If the committee is named by a power other than the chair, such as the assembly or the executive board, the body that elects the committee members has the power at the time the appointments are made to designate any one of them as a chairman. If a chairman is not designated when the committee is appointed, the committee has the right to elect its own chairman. In the latter case, the first named member has the duty of calling the committee
Okay.
together and acting as temporary chairman until the committee elects a chairman.
But,
Yeah,
but if the chair gets to appoint the committee, the first named person is the chairman, it says in the paragraph right above. Not temporary.
What? Wait, hang on. Where?
In the paragraph right above the one you read.
Yeah, if the chair appoints or nominates the committee, they have the duty to select the chairman, which they do by naming that person to the committee first, and the committee cannot elect another. The chair should not state the name of any committee member until they decide a preference for chairman. The chair should specifically mention as chairman the first committee member they name, but if they neglect to state this fact, the designation nevertheless is automatic unless the first name member immediately declines the chairmanship, which they can do, and remain on the committee. If the first name member declines to serve as chairman, the chair then names the next choice for this position. If the committee's task is heavy and requires some time to complete, they can do a vice chairman. Avoid co-chairman because it causes impossible dilemmas and attempts to share the functions of a single position. Have we heard this before?
Yes.
If the committee named by the power other than the chair, such as the assembly or the executive board, the body that elects the committee members has the power at the time the appointments are made to designate any one of them as a chairman. That's C, isn't it?
That's power. One second. But no, but the intro says if the chairman is not designated when it's appointed by an assembly.
Okay, yeah. Then it says that the
Right.
committee can elect its own, and then it says, and the first name member has the duty of calling the committee as an interim chair. Yeah,
As the temporary, yeah.
right. Which okay, yeah. So it was A, but yeah, we were a little confused on the interim stuff.
Okay.
So okay, I'll buy that. I was, we were all looking at the same idea. We just got to get the thing straight. Okay,
The 9th, right?
the 9th of February
And so I have the 9th and the 11th because the 10th
is a Sunday.
is a Sunday.
Yes. Okay. Saturday the 9th. Another previous question one.
Ugh.
That wasn't the previous question. The vote on the previous question can be reconsidered. A. Okay, it's not a reconsideration question. The vote on the I had to double check. The vote on the previous question can be reconsidered. A. Even after the order has been partly executed.
Nope.
B. Unless it is a negative vote which cannot be reconsidered. C. Before any vote has been taken under the order of the previous question. D, by 2/3 vote without previous notice or a majority with previous notice.
C.
It is C. We just mentioned this a minute or two ago.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need to go over those pages again.
We just saw that a minute ago, yeah.
They're really trying to drill that in, but that's good. I'll remember this shit.
Yeah, if anybody cares, it's section 16 and page 201, 3 to 8.
Ooh.
We just had that one, so I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you need a caffeine shot. Okay. February 11th,
Yay.
since the 10th was a Sunday. Not another fucking reconsider again.
Somebody's
gonna
got
be the theme
reconsider
of
on the brain.
That's going to be the theme of this broadcast. Reconsider everything.
Reconsider all the things.
Including reconsidering, yes. A member makes a motion to reconsider the vote on a main motion and a motion to require the vote by ballot. Which of the following is correct regarding the debate on the motion to reconsider?
Wait. Say what? Say that again.
Okay. A member makes a motion to reconsider the vote on a main motion and a motion to require the vote by ballot. Which of the following is correct?
Wait. What vote is to be by ballot? The vote to reconsider?
The way this is worded, I read this to say that there was a main motion made, and then there was a motion made to require the vote on the main motion to be by ballot. That motion passed, and they're moving to reconsider that one.
They're moving to reconsider the ballot motion.
Correct. That's the way I read this.
Okay.
I hope that's right.
That's confusing.
Yeah, it is. We're back in the reconsider weeds again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which of the following is the correct? Which of the following is correct regarding the debate on the motion to reconsider? A. The debate on the motion to reconsider is limited to the motion to require the vote by ballot and cannot extend into the main motion. Main question says, sorry. B, the debate on the motion to reconsider is not limited to the motion to require the vote by ballot and can extend into the main question. So it's the opposite of A. C, the motion to reconsider is not debatable. D, the debate on the motion to reconsider is limited to the motion to reconsider.
I have no fucking idea. Because I still
Well,
don't
it's not
understand the beginning.
okay. It's not A or B because they contradict each other. um,
What,
you still want to think it through?
what was C?
The motion to reconsider is not debatable.
But the motion. Okay, and what was D?
The debate on the motion to reconsider is limited to the motion to reconsider.
C.
It is C.
I just knew D was wrong.
Yeah. And back to our
That's
wonderful section 37 again.
Why is it not debatable? Is it because? Okay. Let me know.
328. 328, and this is 23 to 35. 327. Let's go there first because that's in standard characteristics.
Okay.
320, 17 to 21. That is in standard characteristic 5 again. Okay. Is debatable in all cases in which the motion proposed to be reconsidered is debatable, and when debatable opens to debate the merits of the question whose reconsideration is proposed.
Which is why D was wrong.
Right. See pages 327 to 328, regarding a series of motions proposed to be reconsidered and the question that is opened to debate in such a case. When the motion proposed is to be reconsidered, when the motion proposed to be reconsidered is not debatable, either because of its nature or because of its subject, or because it is subject to an unexhausted order for the previous question, the motion to reconsider is undebatable.
So the ballot vote thing must be undebatable.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Motion by ballot, vote by ballot. We gotta go down a rabbit hole here for a second,
Motion
folks.
to take vote by. Six, 17.
283, 285.
Number
Well, it's
8.
not division of the assembly. Section 30, I think.
Okay, that's not there. 30, yeah, 31.
Incidental motions relating to methods of voting and the polls.
Are
This is
not
standard
debatable.
characteristics. Section 30, number 5 are not debatable. Yes.
Okay, yeah, so that's why the reconsider was not debatable.
Right. We had to go down a rabbit hole to find that one, folks. So
And a
the
way
answer
to
is C.
remember that is if you remember that a motion to reconsider can go into the debates go into the merits of the main motion, the motion to be reconsidered. Right. If that motion can't be debated,
then
then the reconsider can't be.
Yeah, that makes sense. One quick moment here. It's getting dark in here. Let's see, does that help me any? Not really.
So is anyone awake in the comments? If you are, let me know you're alive and we haven't killed you. That would be nice.
Everybody count off by alphabetical by height, please.
Yeah. All right. Who's it now? Is it me?
It's you.
My lower back is like, my back's been acting up, so that's why I've been like messing with it. Guess what this is about?
You know you're getting old when your back goes out more than you do. Yes. Let me guess. Reconsideration.
No, actually, well, it's mentioned. It's mentioned in one of the answers.
Get the sucker bet.
Yeah. All righty. Here we go. An order limiting debate to 30 minutes is adopted while a main motion is pending.
Yeah.
After debate is closed, a member moves to consider the main motion informally. This motion is quickly seconded. The chair should
Ask where the pizza's at.
let the member know that a reconsideration of the motion to limit debate is necessary. B. State the question on the motion to consider the main motion informally, debate and vote.
What? Say that one again.
State the question on the motion to consider the main motion informally, debate it, and then vote on it.
Okay.
C. Rule the motion to consider informally out of order. D. State the question on the motion to consider the main motion informally and vote without any debate.
And this is after debate. The 30 minutes of debate have ended.
Right. B and D are opposite.
And the question is what the chair should do here?
Yes.
And C said what?
Rule the motion to consider informally out of order.
I'm going to go with that one because you've already had 30 minutes of formal debate. Why would you want to go informal after that?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah. That's just simple deduction.
Well, and this goes into the same thing where if a motion to extend or limit debate is exhausted or partially executed, it's done. Like, you can't fuck around with that type thing. You have to reconsider immediately or do whatever you're going to do immediately.
That makes sense.
I don't think we need to look that up. We've been looking at that all month.
Yeah, no kidding. Hang on one second here.
I think we have killed everyone in chat.
Wake up, everybody! Okay. Sorry, I had a dog jump down here, so we're keeping an eye on things. Okay. The 13th of February. Hold on. Dog wants to go out. Next.
Hey, so someone is alive. JJ is alive. Thank God. We really thought we killed everyone with Roberts here.
That would be a bludgeoning of mortal. Okay,
no more breaks for you.
Don't blame me. It's the dogs who want to go out.
No more breaks for dogs.
Well, than that. Anyway, okay, we're on the 13th, aren't we? Yes, we are.
We are.
Okay, this one has to do with not reconsideration.
Yes.
Yeah, let out a Bronx cheer for that one. When a motion to refer to a special committee has been adopted, only what business may intervene until selection of the committee members is completed, except when the chair makes the appointments.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Start again.
Yeah,
and hey, D.
I'm going to
Frank.
start that again because I got confused.
And D. Frank is here.
Greetings, last of the founders. Glad to have you. Okay. When a motion to refer to a special committee has been adopted, only what business may intervene until the selection of the committee members is completed, except when the chair makes the appointments.
What? What? That made no sense.
I know, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, read the answers because then maybe it'll make sense.
Okay, A, privileged matters. B, special orders. C, general orders. D, orders of the day.
Read the main question again.
When a motion to refer to a special committee has been adopted, comma, only what business may intervene until selection of the committee members is completed, question mark, comma, except when the chair makes the appointments.
Okay, now what are the things again?
Privileged matters, special orders, general orders, or orders of the day.
Privileged.
Yes.
Okay. Special orders
Okay.
looped me a little bit though, but you're totally in the middle of a motion, and I don't think you can be in the middle of it and have the special order interrupt.
Yeah, this question is very poorly worded, for
Wow.
lack of a better term.
Welcome to our
I mean,
world.
Yes, I know. But when it asks the question only what business may intervene, blah, 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 they really should put that later. The question really should be what business, or should be, until selection of the committee members is completed,
What business
comma,
may?
except when the chair makes appointments, comma, what business may intervene. Yeah, they didn't put the things in the right order in the sentence.
What page is this? Because I'm curious why it wouldn't be special orders, but I think I figured out why.
Section 13, which is commit or refer, page 175, lines 4 to 10.
What's the title?
Section naming members to a special committee.
Which is
Under, I think, further rules and explanations, but let's see. Yeah, further rules and explanation.
oh, I don't see, wait, hold on. I got form an example, so it's before that.
Yeah.
How did I miss further rules? I got descriptive. Okay, necessary details. So what did you say it was?
Naming members to a special committee. No, excuse. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think this got rewritten. Okay, so you can.
Okay.
Oh no, I found it. Okay, but you can read it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take it from the top. A standing or special committee may include or even have as its chairman one or more persons who are not members of the assembly or the society. But if the chair appoints the committee, the names of all such non-members being appointed must be submitted to the assembly for approval, unless the bylaws or a motion to appoint the committee specifically authorizes the presiding officer to appoint non-members. Okay, here's the relevant text. When a motion to refer to a special committee has been adopted, no business except privileged matters can intervene until selection of the committee members is completed, except that if the chair is to appoint the committee, they can, if they wish, and time permits, state that they will announce the names of its members later. In such a case, however, the committee must be left with reasonable time to accomplish its purpose after the names of its members have been announced for the record, and any non-society members have been approved as necessary under the rules stated at the beginning of this paragraph in a meeting of the assembly.
Yep. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
That was just, the question was poorly worded.
Okay, are you ready, Mr. Seebeck? It's Valentine's Day.
You're the one in pink, so.
What are you doing?
The dog is looking at me kind of funny.
I told you no more breaks. You can't just disappear. Hey, would you like to answer the question? Okay.
All right, let's go.
All righty.
Well, I'll make like a
It is
pioneer.
it's about reconsider, by the way.
Ah, not again.
A main motion and
Hold on. Okay. Flip the 37. A main motion and
a subsidiary motion to commit are pending.
Okay.
A motion is made to reconsider the vote on a motion to require the vote on commit to be by secret ballot.
Didn't we just see this?
The motion to reconsider should be noted by the chair and the secretary instructed to record it.
Uh-huh.
B, noted by the chair and the member informed that they would be given priority to introduce the motion at the appropriate time. C, stated as the immediately pending question. D, ruled out of order at that time.
Okay, start from the top. We have a main motion
and a subsidiary motion to commit. They're both pending.
Okay.
And there was a completed motion that the vote on the motion to commit would be by secret ballot. Someone wants to reconsider the vote on the motion to make it by secret ballot.
Okay.
That motion to reconsider should be A, noted by the chair and the secretary instructed to record it. B, noted by the chair and the member informed that they would be given priority to introduce the motion at the appropriate time. C, stated as the immediately pending motion. Or D, ruled out of order.
Okay, it's not B because how do they give a priority on it when you're just moving to reconsider? Especially because you're probably in the middle of debate on the motion, on the main motion, the motion to commit, because the motion for secret ballot's already been adopted. So that puts it the case of how you're voting on it. Now you're back to what are you voting on? So a motion to reconsider the vote for the ballot at that point is not out of order. So it's not D. So that leaves A and C. Give me A again.
Noted by the chair and the secretary instructed to record it.
That could be true. C.
Stated as the immediately pending question.
This is a tough one. You could say it's an immediate pending question because it is in order. But the question then becomes: is that the right point to do that while you're in debate of the question? Which would put us back to A. I'm going to go with A, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's C.
It's C.
Okay. I can understand it.
Because when would you vote on it otherwise? Because by
Once
then
debate
you would have
closes.
already have done the secret ballot and all of that.
Well, no. Couldn't it be pending once debate closes before you bring it to the vote?
What?
Couldn't it be pending? Couldn't it be in order for the reconsider to be pending between the end of debate and the vote?
I think that's getting a little too granular. I think so, yes, but I think that's getting too granular here. Usually when the secretary is instructed to record it, it's to call it up at a separate time.
Which could be later on.
But this doesn't talk about it being called up. I don't know. They said C. And
I can understand why they'd say C, because technically it would be in order at that point. So what's the citation in our wonderful section 37 again?
326, 5 through 9.
326. Okay. Excuse me. Pardon the furball here. Okay, here it is. This is under reconsideration of subsidiary privilege and incidental motions. It is the third paragraph, excuse me.
Which is under what section?
It is reconsideration of subsidiary privilege and incidental motions.
Is that under further?
Yes.
Okay, found it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, it's the third paragraph down. Starts with referring to case A.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Case A, right above it, is emotion. Hang on, let me back up a paragraph. To reconsider a subsidiary privileged or incidental motion, reconsideration moves while the main question is pending. When a main motion is pending, with or without a series of adhering motions, and it is moved to reconsider the vote on a related subsidiary privileged or incidental motion, the motion to reconsider becomes A, immediately pending, or B, pending at a lower position in the series, depending on whether the motion proposed to reconsider would then be in order if moved for the first time. Okay, so what they're saying there is that because the motion to vote by secret ballot adhered to the main motion, then the motion to reconsider becomes immediately pending, which was C. Yeah.
Yep.
But then it goes on. Hold on. Referring to the case A above, the motion to reconsider becomes the immediately pending question at once if no other motions that would take precedence over the motion proposed to be reconsidered are also pending. For example, assume that it is moved and seconded to reconsider a negative vote on a motion to refer the pending main question to a committee. If the main question is now pending alone, if no other questions are pending except motions to postpone indefinitely or to amend, which are ranked below the motion to commit, the chair at once states the question on the motion to reconsider as immediately pending.
Yeah.
So,
got it.
Yeah. Okay. So that answers my question. The answer is no, but it is immediately pending. Okay. That makes sense.
Alrighty.
Okay. Well, 15th of February. My turn. My turn to ask you a question. Not again.
Yes, again, whatever it is.
Or reconsider.
Lord have mercy on our souls.
Jesus, Mary and Frank. Okay. In cases where a failure to call up a motion to reconsider may do harm, like all these questions we're getting. A, the chair must remain neutral regarding the situation and is precluded from pointing this out to the assembly.
No.
B, the motion to adjourn must be withdrawn or is out of order. What does that do with anything? C, the chair has the duty to point out the situation to the assembly, or D, none of the above.
C.
It is C. I have no idea what the motion to adjourn has to do with anything here for B.
They're pulling this from the section of how the motion to reconsider is even in order when there's a pending motion to adjourn. Because there would be harm in adjourning before dealing with that issue because maybe it would no longer be available as a remedy.
This goes back to this page 324, same section 37, back to a couple pages, under the section about duty of chair when failure to call up the motion may do harm. And it says the following. In cases where a failure to call up a motion to reconsider may do harm, the chair has the duty to point out the situation to the assembly. Well, there's our answer. Suppose, for example, that in a meeting of ordinary society that will meet within a quarterly time interval, there has been a motion to reconsider a vote to do something that can only be done before the next meeting. Should the present meeting adjourn without taking up the motion to reconsider it, the measure proposed to be reconsidered would be killed unless an adjourned meeting or special meeting were held to consider it. Therefore, if this meeting seems on the point of adjourning before the motion to reconsider has been taken up, the chair should explain the facts and suggest that someone call up the motion. If it has been moved to adjourn under these circumstances, the motion to adjourn can be withdrawn or voted down, or the time can be fixed for an adjourned meeting, which can be done either before or after the vote on which adjournment has been taken.
Yep.
So basically, the chair needs to explain that this could cause a problem,
Yeah.
and if it's not addressed in a timely manner, and the time to address it passes, then it's killed as OBE.
Right.
What they're supposed to point it out in the first place. So,
Okay. The
and you got that one.
17th is a Sunday. So you've got the
It is.
16th and the 18th.
And believe it or not, the 17th is not a reconsideration one.
And neither is this one.
That was actually about something else. So.
And D. Frank says if the chair fails, then what? The assembly is shut out of luck. That's what.
Well, if the chair. Okay, hang on. Good question. Let's go back to that.
Then the chair fucked
Yeah.
up. That's kind of like when a certain chair adjourned and we didn't elect a judicial committee, Mr. Robinson. Damn it, we adjourned.
Yeah, here it is. Should the present meeting adjourn without taking up the motion to reconsider, the measure proposed to be reconsidered would be killed unless an adjourned meeting or a special meeting were held to consider it.
Yeah.
Yeah. An election is a board. Yeah, that's what should have happened in New Orleans.
Okay, are you ready for the next one, Mr. Seebeck?
As long as it's not another question about reconsideration.
It's not.
Good.
The subsidiary motion to postpone definitely can be applied to which of the following? A, to a class of business composed of several items or subjects. B, only to a question that is actually pending. C, only to any business on the agenda. D, all of the above.
I'm going to say D on this one.
It is B, only to a question that is actually pending.
That's pending?
Mm-hmm. And
okay, I can understand why they say B. Why wouldn't they say A or C? Because wait a second. Let me try to answer my own question. A was a class of business items. Is that what I said?
Yeah, like all of new business or all of old business.
Right, and then C had to do with
only to any business on the agenda,
which technically is repeating itself for A. You would need a suspension of the rules to that would do to the agenda. No. Why couldn't you do that? Why couldn't you say when we're at new business, say postpone all new business items to a definite time?
You can't. You have to do each one individually.
Why?
Let's see if it says why. I just know that's the rule. Section 14, and you're on page 184, 17 through 27.
Okay. That's under postponement a certain time, of course. 184, you said?
Yeah, 184, 17 through 27.
Okay, rule against postponement of a class of subjects. As already noted, a subsidiary motion to postpone can be applied only to a question that is actually pending, but an individual item of business that is not pending can, when appropriate, be postponed by means of a main motion. It is not an order either through a subsidiary motion or a main motion to postpone a class of business composed of several items or subjects, such as reports or officers or reports of committees. But each report can be postponed separately as it is announced or called for. Asterisk. It should be noted that when a similar rule applies to the subsidiary motion to lay on the table, if it is desired to reach an item immediately but fails but falls at a later point in the regular order of business, the assembly by a 2/3 vote or unanimous consent can adopt either a motion to suspend the rules and take up the desired question or a motion to pass one or more items or classes of subjects in the order of business. Okay, wait a second here. Did we have unanimous consent back in 2019 to just accept the platform committee report as a whole?
There was no objection.
That would be unanimous consent then, yeah. Okay. That would classify, that would fall under a class of subject for all the different motions attached to that report. So, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I get it.
And this is another one of those rules where I think it's form over function. What an assembly should be able to say this whole class we're postponing rather than having to go
Yeah.
move to postpone the
A, B,
president's
C,
report,
D, X, Y,
move to
Z.
postpone the secretary's report.
Yeah, that's why I'm going. Why not? Because that seems to me that going A, B, C, X, Y, Z is ridiculous there.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so you also get the 18th.
okay.
Which of the following forms of lay on the table are out of order? A. I move to lay the question on the table until 2 p.m. B. I move to lay the question on the table until after the completion of blank. Fill in the blank, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
C. I move to lay the question on the table indefinitely. D. All of the above.
Well, okay. The question is, which one is not the right form?
Yeah, which of these are out of order?
C.
Answer is D. All of them.
All of the above?
Yes. A, because that's a postpone definitely, not a lay on the table. I move to lay the question on the table till 2. That's a definitely.
That makes sense.
Same thing with I move to lay the question on the table until after the completion of. That's also a definitely.
Okay, and C is definitely not true.
Right. So,
yeah.
I think.
Okay, I can believe that.
You got tired.
On the order of business, you could have a comment. On the order of business, you could suspend the rules and consider something before it should come up.
Yeah. That I think was the next sentence where we didn't read, where it said you could suspend the rules and take up something out of order.
Yeah.
We do that all the time on the LNC.
Yeah, that's commonplace.
Yeah. Okay. My turn.
I'm struggling here.
I know. Well, we're getting tired. We've been at this for a while, but we're going to catch up, which is good.
Yeah, we're getting there. Okay. 19th of February. The purpose of the motion to discharge a committee is to A, force the committee to submit its report, B, take the matter out of the committee's hands, C, expedite the decision-making process, or D, discharge the committee members and replace them.
B.
It is B. And the reasoning is very simple. If you discharge the committee, you're not forcing them to come in a report because you're basically saying, you're done, have a nice day.
Right.
Which was what B accomplishes also. You're not expediting the decision-making process because you're just cutting them off at the knees. And you're not going to replace them in that committee because you're killing the committee by discharging. Yeah. So just simple logic says B on that one. The citation is in section 36, which is not 46. 34, 35, 36.
Green tab, discharge a committee.
Discharge a committee. Page 310, 31 to 33, top of the whole section, all into the next page. So, first two paragraphs. By means of the motion to discharge a committee from further consideration of a question or subject, the assembly can take the matter out of a committee's hands, asterisk, or a committee can take it out of a subcommittee's hands, after referring it to the committee and before the committee has made a final report on it, and the assembly itself can consider it. So long as a question is in the hands of a committee, the assembly cannot consider another motion involving practically the same question.
Yep.
That's all. That's all it says. Yeah, that one was pretty straightforward. That was just, sometimes the shorter ones usually are. Okay, 20th. My turn again.
Shit, this is concentrate. The following motions are pending. You might want to do a little diagram. This is going to get complicated. A.
Oh boy.
This isn't the answer A. This is an A list of the motions that are pending. So
okay.
The following motions are pending. A.
I'm taking notes here.
A main motion. B.
Okay.
An amendment to the main motion. C. A motion.
Hold on. Slow up. Okay, C.
A motion to refer the main motion and the pending amendment to a committee.
Okay.
D. An immediately pending motion to postpone all pending questions till after lunch.
Immediate pending motion to postpone to after lunch. Which is a postpone to a definite time.
Okay, and here's the question. A qualified... You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. A qualified motion for the previous question may include which of the following? A. Only B and D. B. Only A, C, and D. C. A, B, C, and D. D. None of the above are correct.
Okay, ask me the last part one more time and give me those choices again.
A qualified motion for the previous question may include which of the following? A. Only B and D. B. Only A, C, and D. C. All of them, basically. A, B, C, and D. D. None of the above are correct.
Well, I know D is not right. There's no way in the world that can be correct. Okay, what was the A option again?
Only B and D.
So that's only amendment to the main motion and immediate pending motion to postpone to deal with it after lunch. Then C you said was
all of them.
And B was
only A, C, and D.
Main motion, refer to committee, and go to after lunch, but it ignores the amendment to the main motion. However, the refer the motion and the amendment to the committee kind of adhere together. I'm going to go with C, although I really believe it should just be D alone. But I'm going to go with C.
It is C. You can move all previous questions.
Was the question about moving all previous questions?
That's a qualified motion for previous question. If you just say previous question, it's only the immediately pending one. To qualify it, you specify. So if you move all previous questions, yeah.
Okay, I understand. Because it was just a previous question, not qualified. It would just be about the immediate pending one about the motion. About to do after lunch. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I got it right, but my reasoning wasn't quite accurate. But we'll take it.
Hey, and always wearing my long hair down says, "Wow, love the hair." And I'm assuming she's referring to mine, even though yours is beautiful.
Well, mine? It's just
all right.
It's just a bunch of hair. Okay. You marked me as getting that one, right?
Yep, I did.
That ends a dry spell for me.
Yeah.
Okay, 21st of February. Oh, more laying on the table.
Okay.
Naps not included. Naps not included or violations thereof. A subsidiary motion to lay on the table can be applied to which of the following? Oh, this is a bunch of long answers.
Uh-oh.
A, yeah, short question, long answers. Those are always a pain. A, it can be separately applied to debatable appeals that do not adhere to the main question, and this application has no effect on the status of any other questions that may be pending.
What?
Okay?
Keep going.
Yeah. B, it can be applied to an immediately pending question to reconsider whenever lay on the table would be applicable if the motion to be reconsidered was immediately pending.
Oh my God.
I said this was crazy. C, it can be applied to adhering appeals, whether debatable or undebatable, only by laying the main question on the table. Or D, all of the above.
Oh my God. What was the original
Yeah.
question?
Okay, last week we said the subsidiary motion to lay on the table can be applied to which of the following?
Okay. I know C is right.
Okay.
What's A and B?
Hang on. I just got to shift.
You got a shit? I don't want to hear that.
Shift. Shift. My arm was going numb. Okay. Anyway, no, it's not a shitty question. It's just a long one. You want to know what A was?
Yeah.
It can be separately applied to debatable appeals that do not adhere to the main question, and this application has no effect on the status of any other questions that may be pending.
It's D.
It is D. Don't ask me why.
Well, I knew C was right, and then I worked through
Yeah.
A because it was non-adhering. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. It's D.
Yeah.
It was all of them.
This one needed a weed whacker, but yes. Reference section 17.
What? 17?
Section 17, page 210, going in 24 to 35, going
Lay on
into
the table.
211.
So my yellow tab, lay on the table.
Standard descriptive characteristics,
Mm-hmm.
number 2. Number 2. All of well, a good chunk of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
this just restates everything you just said.
And I'm not going to restate it again.
Yeah, it's just something you need to learn, and it's somewhat logical. Like the non-adhering one, if they adhered, you can't separate things that adhere. But since it was non-adhering, that's how I knew you could do A. And I wasn't sure about B, but I knew A and C were right, so D was right.
No, I did not go to the bathroom on my bed.
You said you had a shit.
I know, but the dogs do that every once in a while, but I don't.
Ooh, no.
Yeah, I know. It requires a little laundry if that happens, but right now they're behind me fast asleep.
No, our dogs don't do that. They do messes in the house, but not in the bed.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh.
So much for that one.
Are you ready?
The 22nd.
Yep, we're doing our speed rounds. The rules restricting renewal of motions do not apply to any motion that was last disposed of by A, being withdrawn, B, amending something previously adopted, C, being rescinded, D, being reconsidered.
Okay, say that again, please.
The rules restricting renewal of motions do not apply to any motion that was last disposed of by A, being withdrawn. B, amending something previously adopted. C, being rescinded. D, being reconsidered.
I'm going to say being withdrawn. I think it was A.
Correct, because it's not even a real motion. It didn't exist.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that one, it leads you down the primrose path, but the obvious answer is the right one.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Where the hell's that one at?
So I've got 2 in a row now because the 24th is Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, another a short question, long answer one for Saturday the 23rd. Okay. And it's guess what it is about again?
Reconsider.
Yeah, think?
We're going to be the boss reconsiderers, man. I'm going to be like that with substitute.
Like, here we freaking go again. This is like, oh man, I wouldn't say this is this is not redundant. This is the Department of Redundancy Department.
For some reason, the Addams Family thing was going through my head. Okay.
Or as Lurch would say,
okay.
Okay. Which of the following? It would be helpful if the questions appeared on the screen.
D. Frank, we can't do that because of copyright.
Yeah, and besides, it wouldn't be in focus most of the time anyway.
Yeah, but I could type them out ahead of time or whatever, but we're avoiding copyright issues.
Okay. Which of the following are some of the standard descriptive characteristics of the motion to reconsider?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A. Reconsider may be made even while an order for the previous question is in effect on a motion, which is immediately pending before the chair begins to take the vote. B. With respect to the making of the motion to reconsider, it takes precedence over any other motion whatever and yields to nothing. C. Reconsider may be made even after the assembly has voted to adjourn.
D.
Adjourned. Weird typo. It should be adjourned.
D.
Provided that the maker rose and addressed the chair before the chair declared the meeting adjourned. We heard that one earlier.
D.
And D, all the above.
It's D.
Huh? Yeah. You knew it was all the above before I even got there.
because A and B were right. So I knew there had to be a D.
D we talked about a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I already knew 2 of them were right. I kind of know the standard descriptives by now, and I don't think we need to read those. Those are the standard descriptive characteristics. I mean,
right. Yeah, we don't need to go there because it just rattles them off. Yeah, because like B is 1A, and the adjourning thing was somewhere else. Yeah, screw it.
Yeah, we've been through those.
Okay, Sunday is a Sunday. Mm-hmm. Let's go to a Monday. 25th, Monday.
25th. So now we're ahead of ourselves, which is nice.
Yes. Okay, what the hell is this one about? Oh, it's not about reconsideration. What a concept! What a freaking concept. Pardon me. Yeah, atomic furball going on here. It's under limit. This is about limiting or extending debate.
Okay.
An order limiting total debate time to 30 minutes while... hold on. Let me start over.
Mm-hmm.
An order limiting total debate to 30 minutes is adopted while a main motion is pending. After debate is closed, a member moves to refer the matter to a special committee. This motion is quickly seconded. The chair should A, rule it out of order. B, let the member know that a reconsideration of the motion to limit debate is necessary. C, state the question on the motion to refer, debate, and vote. Or D, state the question on the motion to refer and vote without permitting debate.
Say the top thing again.
Okay. We had an order that limited debate time to 30 minutes, adopted while a main motion is pending.
Okay.
Debate's closed.
Uh-huh.
A member moved to refer the matter to a special committee.
Uh-huh.
The motion seconded.
Uh-huh.
Chair should do what?
Uh-huh.
A, rule out of order. B, let the member know that a reconsideration of the motion to limit debate is necessary. C, state the question on the motion to refer, debate, and vote. D, state the question on the motion to refer and vote without debate.
Let's go through them again. I'm sorry. A.
Rule the motion to refer is out of order.
That could be. Okay. Continue.
B, let the member know that a reconsideration of the motion to limit debate is necessary.
It's definitely not B.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. C, state the question on the motion to refer, debate, and vote. Or D, state the question on the motion to refer and vote without debate.
Okay. It's C or D, I believe. Even though they're opposite, so it might be A. Oh, shit. C. I'm just C.
This is actually A. It's out of order.
Okay. I should have known when those two were opposite. Why didn't I just go...
When two, as a rule of thumb on these questions, when two are opposites, they both aren't right.
Yeah. Trusted Knower says if you add commentary on each question, which we do, you can claim fair use. I believe we can do that as long as we're reading the questions. If we put it on the screen, the argument then becomes it's a substitute for the actual printed item itself. So,
and on the back of each page, it says the following at the bottom. The calendar and research questions are copyright year by Management Information Consultants, all rights reserved.
Yeah. But as long as you add commentary, you have like fair use. But I think if you put it on the screen where allegedly it could be screen captured and someone could assemble their own calendar, I just don't even want to get into that. I know it's definitely fair use when we just say it and make sarcastic comments throughout the whole thing. So
we're engaging in satire.
Yeah, so we're doing transformative work. All right.
Transforming into what is a question of debate. But anyway, so yes, the citation for this one being out of order is Section 15, which is limit or extend limits of debate.
Section 15.
And that is 194, section 11 to 19, which has to do with further rules and explanation, of course.
Okay,
Paragraph starts about if as in form and example C below.
Okay, keep going.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this got rewritten.
Okay. If, as in form and example C below, which I'm not going to go to, the limitation or extension that has been ordered does not provide for closing debate, it has no effect on what subsidiary motions can be made. On the other hand, after the adoption of an order that does provide for closing debate by requiring that at a certain later hour or after debate for a specified length of time, debate shall be closed, motions to commit or postpone to a certain time cannot be made, since these motions would be in conflict with the purpose of that order. Asterisk. If debate on a pending question, while such a limitation is in effect, nonetheless reveals an arguably valid reason for committal, or postponement, the vote adopting the order can be reconsidered, or a motion can be made to establish a different limit.
I don't see how you could reconsider it when it's partially exhausted. So that's an exception to that.
It's got to be.
I understand moving another motion to extend further or whatever, but the other one didn't make any sense to me because it's exhausted. How can you reconsider? That's just one of the mysteries of universe. That's what.
Yeah, it's one of those cases where get crazy on different motions at different time. Let's see. There's commentary in the
It's
chat
about
box.
the copyright stuff, yeah.
Yeah, lyrics. So, yeah.
And it gets complicated.
Anyway, it does get complicated. That's why we prefer to have much with IP. 26, your turn.
A main motion may still be renewed at a later session, even if it was A, postponed definitely to the next regular meeting following the later session, B, postponed indefinitely at a previous session, C, referred to a committee, D, previously adopted as amended.
Okay, give me the first part again.
A main motion may still be renewed at a later session, even if it was A
was
postponed definitely to the next regular meeting following the later session, B, postponed indefinitely at a previous session, C, referred to a committee, D, previously adopted as amended.
It's not A, because you're jumping sessions. I don't think C makes a lot of sense, because if it's in the committee's hands, unless you're going to discharge the committee, then they have to deal with it until they report back. D was what again?
Previously adopted as amended.
I'm not sure how that even ties in. And B was
postponed indefinitely at a previous session.
At a previous session. I'm saying B, because my thinking on that is that if it was postponed indefinitely at a previous session, but you're now in the next session, you can bring it back as a fresh motion.
You are correct, Mr. Seebeck.
The key there is you're jumping sessions.
Yep. Yepers. I am ready, because we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and I gotta lay down. My back is killing me. I'm such an old lady.
Yeah, but that light in the tunnel might be an oncoming train.
Oh, my back is killing me.
This is the 27th.
It is.
On here.
And is it?
Yes.
Reconsider?
No, believe it or not. Ironically enough, it is not. Which of the following subsidiary motions can be renewed after material progress in business or debate such that they no longer present the same question?
Okay.
A, postpone indefinitely and limit or extend limits of debate. B, postpone indefinitely, commit, and postpone to a certain time. C, commit and postpone to a certain time. Or D, both A and C.
Okay, give them to me again.
Okay. You want the first part?
No.
Okay. A, postpone. Hold on. Frog, sorry. A, postpone indefinitely, limit or extend limits of debate. B, postpone indefinitely, commit, and postpone to a certain time. C, commit and postpone to a certain time. Or D, A and C both.
D.
And the answer is C.
Ah,
Commit and postpone to a certain time.
yeah, I guessed.
Yeah. So citation is section 38, which is not reconsider. It's actually renewal by Anderson. No, I'm kidding. By Roberts. 339 into 340. And this goes into motions that can be renewed after material progress in business or debate.
Correct. I see that.
Okay. Here we go. The following motions are renewable if they become new questions as described, even within the same meeting. Next page. Bullet. The subsidiary motions to commit, to postpone to a certain time, to limit or extend limits of debate for the previous question, and to lay on the table can be renewed whenever progress in business or debate has been such that they are no longer practically the same questions. In addition, a motion to lay on the table can be renewed if something urgent has arisen that was not known when the assembly rejected this motion. So they said it was commit and postpone to a certain time.
And what was in A?
Postpone indefinitely,
Oh, so that the indefinitely is what was the issue.
and that blows out B as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got it.
Yep. Okay, last one.
And it's
28th.
28th because there's no 29 in this. All right, everyone. People who've stuck with us this whole time, they're troopers. All righty. The motion to reconsider may not be withdrawn if it is not finally disposed of within the time limits, except by which of the following? A, by majority vote. B, by 2/3 vote. C, by unanimous consent. D, none of the above.
It's either B or D. Okay, read it one more time for me.
The motion to reconsider may not be withdrawn if it is not finally disposed of within the time limits, except by which of the following? A majority vote, a 2/3 vote, unanimous consent, or none of the above.
I'll stick with 2/3. Old reliable.
It is C, unanimous consent. No motions
Really?
can be withdrawn because it belongs to the entire assembly and you can't withdraw them unless the whole assembly concurs.
Even though the time's up?
As I think you misunderstood the time up thing.
Read the first part again.
The motion to
Make sure.
reconsider may not be withdrawn
Right.
if it is not finally disposed of within the time limits. I'm not
So
sure.
the time runs out and still pending then, isn't it?
Let's look at what they're saying here.
Yeah, because I'm not following what they're saying there. Could be just we're tired, but
Yeah, I'm super tired. Section 37, obviously.
yeah.
317, 11 through 15.
Okay. That is standard descriptive characteristics. What was the numbers again?
11 through 15.
Oh, it's ahead of that. Just ahead of that. Excuse me.
And there's another
that is
section
it.
too it's quoting, but that's the first one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That one says, except by unanimous consent, a motion to reconsider that has not been finally disposed of cannot be withdrawn after it is too late to renew it. That is, it can be withdrawn only within the same time limits as for making the motion in the first place. Okay, because the time is expired, you can't
To
withdraw
make it, right. It was
Yeah,
made
okay.
timely. It can't be withdrawn if somebody else couldn't make it.
Yeah, because time ran out.
Got it.
Okay, what's the other citation?
293, 15 through 19.
Well, that's going back a ways. That is 293. Requests and inquiries?
That's weird, isn't it? I don't.
Section. Okay, 293, what again?
15 through 19.
That's under requests and inquiries, standard descriptive characteristics number 7. When it is too late for renewal, unanimous consent is required to grant permission to withdraw a motion to reconsider, refer back to 317, or to withdraw previous notice of a proposed motion requiring such notice. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, makes sense.
All righty.
We doed it.
We done. That is.
Yeah, that was a marathon, but
That was.
let's see. 1,
Yeah, a true marathon.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
What are you doing?
8, 9, 10, upside down 11, shitty 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, you got 16 right.
3, I'm counting yours. You got that one right.
You're quite welcome, D. Frank. We're glad to have you. We normally don't crank out this many this fast, but, you know, it's been so crazy and hectic. We've been trying to get things caught up, you know?
Ugh.
Hmm?
10.
Okay.
So I won this time. But you beat
I had
my ass.
I had a rough patch in there for a while.
I want to recount these so because I think some might stuck together. Yeah, you got some really hard ones.
Well, we all got reconsidered out the ass.
No, 10 was right.
Okay.
And when we see each other again, bring those back. So I have my little
Of course.
stack here. And yeah, let me know whether you can do next weekend. Otherwise, we'll do a live for a week. You know.
Sounds like a plan. So.
Okay. Have a good night.
Okie dokie, we shall do so.
All right. Bye, everyone. I'm hitting my finish button.
Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
coming.